The legend of Groundhog's Day states that if the groundhog sees his shadow, we can expect another 6 weeks of winter. If there are legends surrounding hedgehogs, it might go a little something like this. Shadow the Hedgehog sucks. Sadly, it's become painfully obvious that Sega has no idea what to do with the Sonic franchise. And instead of letting it retire peacefully, they slapped some lipstick on it, told it to stop crying, and made it go out and dance for another night. First of all, the gameplay is a letdown. It reminds me of what my ex used to say. I'm not mad at your hedgehog, I'm disappointed. Sure, the basic elements from the Sonic Adventure games are here. The large levels filled with obstacles, enemies, and secret paths for collecting rings. But the character control is ridiculously awkward. Shadow spends most of his time gliding about like an ice skater with a brain tumor. And this game has worse camera control than Michael Bay. Every maneuver is made doubly difficult thanks to that infernal camera. Oh, get over! And in some bizarre attempt to make the game edgy, Sega thought it would be a good idea to introduce firearms into the mix. The result turns out to be the exact opposite of a good idea. What's that called? Oh yeah, a bad idea. Sure, you get to blast enemies, but you spend most of your time hunting for ammo and virtually no time running really fast, which is what the whole franchise is based on. What's worse is this game could be construed as racist.
The black aliens.
Black aliens
committed by the black aliens.
Black
aliens. Eliminate the black aliens.
Kill them all.
But we must stand united to defend our world against these invaders.
That president seems a little too concerned with the real estate value of his planet now that the black aliens have moved in. I bet if it were white aliens, everyone would be all hugs, smiles, and welcome baskets. The tragic part of all this is that any hint of racism makes real hedgehogs cry. But enough of this negativity. Let me think of something good to say about Shadow. Something good, something good. Here we go. The levels. They're big, and there's a lot of them. The only other bright spot in this game is this guy.
It's time to make all final preparations for our ritual.
It's good to see Dr. Claw getting some VO work after Inspector Gadget. We actually dug up some of the outtakes in that recording session. Let's take a listen.
Does it say, I'm going to fet you, Shadow, or is that a typo? Get you? Oh, yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1. I'll get you next time, Shadow, next time. What? No? Okay, I just thought I'd throw that in for the fans, but okay. It's your destiny. The power emeralds are... Oh, sorry guys, my bad. Just one second.
I told you never to call me here. Seriously. Later.
Sorry about that, boys. Okay, let's back to one.
Ultimately, this Shadow leaves us completely in the dark. We give Shadow the Hedgehog a 1 out of 5.
Damn it.
Stepping up to the plate now, we have a double team, Melissa and Amber.
Yes, for those too young to buy proper pornography, there's a gaggle of bouncing, flashing, tittering twits just waiting to titillate in the guy game. No, they're not interested in you. They're interested in the engulfing black eye of the camera lens, this being the only time they rise above the double wide to greater fame and fortune. If by fortune you mean a free shot and a freer molestation of the crowd.
Are you pretty smart?
Absolutely not. But fame and fortune will surely come their way as they embark on their promising Jeopardy careers.
The question is, what animal produces the largest eggs?
Oh, ostrich eggs are really big. Dinosaur eggs are really big. Elephant eggs are really big.
Okay, so Ken Jennings is probably safe. Though the men don't exactly come off like geniuses either.
Do you have a Band-Aid? Because I fell and scraped my knee when I fell in love with you. Ooh.
How many times you been late?
14 times, dude. Like, it's no thing. 6 times, like, it's no idea.
There's 4 basic rounds. In the first, you answer trivia yourself. Then you can earn bonus points by guessing if these bouncing bubbles will pull the right answer out of their cirrhosis-inflicted brains. If they get it right, well then they're off the hook for this round.
You got away from me. You got away from me. I tried to make them difficult, guys. I didn't mean to do that to you.
If they get it wrong, then off with the much-needed pink glitter bandeaus.
3!
The more bonus points you get, the more uncensored the rewards. But that doesn't matter here, because for the sake of Colin Powell's nepotistic progeny, we can't show the naughty to the kiddies. In the second round, you participate in some sort of ball-oriented activity. In the third round, it's back to trivia for you and the ladies. You can earn more bonus points by figuring out which of the dumb answers they actually came up with.
Unrestricted Legion.
It's pretty safe to go for the absolutely dumbest answer of them all.
What is the capital of Wisconsin?
Well, I'm gonna go with I don't bleeping know. Then, in the fourth round, you pick which lady will successfully complete a challenge, the primary goal of which is to make them jump up and down. They get extra points for going topless. Wow, extra points? How could they resist? If you win, you get a strip show. You can tell these ladies are paid for their services because they don't jiggle. So it's basically not a video game. It's Trivial Pursuit with boobs. So if you think Girls Gone Wild is the best thing ever, then you'll like this game. For everyone else on the planet, the guy game gets a 1 out of 5.
I'll do my best not to give you a hard one.
By the way, who is this tool? Why is he talking? Why is he so short?
Hey, Willy Wonka, have you a game? Or like other spin-offs, are you just lame?
You come a long way, Charlie Bucket. Such a long way, in fact, that you're barely recognizable. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the Xbox has taken so many liberties with Roald Dahl's original story that it may seem hard to recognize. You may also have trouble recognizing it as anything resembling a video game. The story now makes Charlie the righter of all wrongs committed by the other children. It's up to Charlie to choose Violet, for example. Wonka Bots, Charlie's peculiar adversaries in the game, are created by Mike TV. The Wonka Bots were being created to replace the already enslaved Oompa Loompas. This title trots along with tenacious tedium, draining color from the faces of even the youngest of players.
Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
The game begins in relatively familiar territory, with Charlie and Gramps trying to gain access to Mr. Wonka's air-polluting factory of wonder. Young Charles's initial challenge is to grab the cash necessary to obtain the ticket. This, of course, becomes a whimsical analogy of self-determined capitalism. Charlie's desperate clutching to escape the grim poverty of his grandfather starts with this green cash sprout and ends on top of Mr. Wonka's chocolate chair, master of all that's sweet. Problem is, as you progress through the game, you'll begin to realize the tedium supplied by the title's fatally flawed control system. Buttons at times needed to be depressed repeatedly to make certain things happen. The controller-to-character response ratio was noticeably inaccurate, making platforming a pain in the keister and objective repetition far too common. The game is insulting, aiming at the perceived lower expectations of kid gamers. We at SA believe that kids don't deserve crappy games. Very few kids will finish this title based on the inaccurate controls and flat sameness of much of the environments. Many of the rooms and objectives seem to repeat. Just when you think you've completed an objective, like freeing Augustus Gloop,
yes, he's out of the pipe.
You have to repeat the objective in a similar environment.
No, he's back in the river.
Wait. Charlie's combat system is candy-based and sides more on the sweet rather than the mighty. There's very little satisfaction when vanquishing villains, and there's very little taste to this title. I mean, it rubs our rhubarb to try and foist this crap on a kid, or adult that may have enjoyed the book or movies the title is based on. Don't get suckered. Don't buy it or rent it. Read it and love it. With stale chocolate breath, we breathe a 1 out of 5.
I'm here on the scene.
Welcome to Pokemon Channel, Nintendo's newest Pokemon game. You play a crack television tester. The good folks down at the Pokemon Channel sent you a TV, and your job is to watch it. Actually, your job is to watch your Pikachu watch TV. The thing is, there's not really that much on. There are episodes of an insipid cartoon called Pichu Brothers in Party Panic. I think the pink one's horny. Since Pokemon only say their names ad nauseum, you spend the whole time reading subtitles. Well, at least the kids are learning to read. There's the quiz channel, though I didn't seem to know any of the answers. Can I get a lifeline from the 8-year-olds in the audience? This is the egg hatching channel. You watch it for 5 minutes until the egg hatches. No, I'm not kidding. On this channel, you wait until the weather changes. May I point out that at no time are you required to hit any buttons? Oh, and for those of you who don't know, hitting buttons is what makes something a video game. This is the relaxation channel, because I'm not bored enough. You have to watch these boring, ridiculous shows all the way through. Then you have to wait until the next day to get new shows, which is also known as resetting your system clock. In case you're wondering where the game part comes in, it doesn't. You literally watch your Pikachu watch TV. The shopping channel could count as slightly interactive. Ooh, a turd doll. God, Pikachu's gonna want it. Pikachu wants you to buy him everything he sees on TV. He's like having a bratty child. Squirtle sounds like he's on the losing end of a 40-year smoking habit. You can take screen captures and color them in, then sell them at auction or have them discussed on the art show. Or you could buy a coloring book and some crayons. That would be funner. And cheaper. Yep, that's about as interactive as it gets. You can go outside with Pikachu and meet other Pokemon. You can make Pikachu water your garden or look at certain landscape features, but mostly, Pikachu wants to watch TV and buy things. The whole experience of watching something watch TV feels like some bizarre comment on society that needs further study. But not for $40, and not by me. Pokemon Channel gets a 1 out of 5 for not actually being a video game.
Dear Diary, today was my first day at Pacific Coast Academy, a co-ed boarding school that offers nothing educational. My first class was Zoey 101 for the GBA. Within the first few minutes in class, I learned that Zoey 101 is a game based on the Nickelodeon TV show starring Jamie Lynn Spears, Brittany's less talented but much skinnier younger sister. And how she got her own game? Who knows? All I know is she doesn't live up to Nickelodeon's more prominent alumni like Clarissa, Alex Mack, and Shelby Woo. The game starts off with a new semester, dorm assignments, and loads of boring text conversations. But all Zoey wants to do is party, much like her older sister. But throwing a party isn't easy. Zoey must satisfy the girls, the boys, and the faculty by completing boring but sometimes bizarre mini-games. There's over 10 mini-games, and they're all equally mind-numbing. Like basketball, a one-on-one game. Kinda looks like Justin and pre-K fed Brittany. You can even recreate their more intimate moments. Then there's the Sushi Fundraiser game, where in following in Brittany's footsteps, Zoey serves sushi. Fortunately, there's no car exiting minigame. And then Chemistry, a lackluster game of memorization and chemical experimentation. Do you know what happened to the last person named Spears who experimented with chemicals? She was sent into periodic exile at SeaWorld's Manatee Rehab Facility. As minigames are completed, Zoey gains friendship points and passwords. For some reason, these passwords don't unlock anything. Instead, they're used as save points to resume your game. Boy, it's great to see the NES save system making a comeback. And just like it's sad to see the Brittany locked up in captivity, this game's graphics are even more of an eyesore. Wait, what's this? This just in. The Brittany is escape? Protect your cars, people. Protect your cars. Overall, I learned nothing from my experience at Pacific Coast Academy. At least you have the option to drop out for the semester. Do I even have to say what this game gets? One big fat F out of 5. Run for your lives, people. The Brittany has reached new proportions and is mass-produced. Protect the cultural landmarks. Oh, the humanity.
Through the past couple of months, we have suffered through a number of fighting games.
Fight!
From fighting pirates, to fighting furries, to fighting... yeah... Today we venture to the bottom of the anime bucket, fighting dolls. Zatch Bell Mamodo Battles for the GameCube focuses on the adventures of Kyo.
Let's go, Zatch!
Yeah, Kyo!
After a business trip, Kyo's father brings him back a doll. Geez, were they had t-shirts with clever sayings? As it turns out, this transvestite toy is part of a much bigger population of Mamodo, who, every 1,000 years, must battle to the death to become the kind king. What this game boils down to is grown men playing with dolls that look like little children. Nothing creepy there.
That's right, kiddo.
Mission mode will take you to such exotic locales as the school, a castle, and a Chippendales review.
Don't stare so much. Don't you know that's embarrassing?
The original voice actors of the show lend their voice talents to the cutscenes between the battles. Ah! As long as you call this talent
Invincible Folgore.
Or these cutscenes. The moves may look impressive, but all of the characters play exactly the same way and rely on the same button moves. This one, press over, and over, and over again. Sure, you have a partner, but they're about as useful as a man with a third nipple. And what do you get after playing through a couple of battles? Besides the slow, undeniable feeling that you've wasted your life? Battle points! Development mode allows you to spend points on characters by increasing their strike, magic, or health, which is unfortunate because it won't decrease the sup. Bonus mode lets you purchase a random card from a store or view cards you've already purchased in your card gallery. Can you use the card to enhance any of your battles? No. Does the game somehow explain the mysterious text, numbers, or meaning of any of the cards? No. Does the game force you to play another stupid anime card game that can only be understood by Ritalin-popping 12-year-olds? Thank God, no. Much like everything else in this game, bonus mode is mostly for show.
No.
Now here's the part of the review where I try to smooth over all the bad points by saying something like, if you're a fan of the show, you'll love this game. But I won't. Fans expect more than cost-cutting animation and one-button gameplay. KO! The other anime games may have been crap, but they were quality crap that only a true fan would appreciate. Zatch Bell is just crap. In a dress. That's why we give Zatch Bell Mamodo Battles for the GameCube 1 bad t-shirt out of 5.
If a 13-year-old boy were able to program a video game, it would probably look a lot like X-Blades. And no, that's not a good thing.
Ha! What next?
In this misguided Tomb Raider knockoff, you play as Ayumi, a treasure hunter who apparently is the best there is.
I'm a treasure hunter, and frankly, I'm the best there is.
Right. Her superpower is that she doesn't wear pants. Instead, she actually walks around in a thong the entire game. Classy. Leave it to the Japanese to come up with something so blatantly sexist. Except that this game was made in Russia, the birthplace of vodka-based alcoholism and babushka dolls. If only their cultural exportation had ended with Yakov Smirnov, we would be spared stellar voice acting like this.
Are you all right?
What was that?
The light magic.
Ugh. Now granted, this game probably doesn't look that bad to you, but you'll have to take our word for it that the combat is stunningly repetitive. Most of the time, you'll be firing off your sword gun hybrids, but you can also use magic. It's like Devil May Cry minus any potential enjoyment.
Say farewell to your miserable life.
Enemy types are also dismayingly uncreative. They range from tiny dinosaur to lizard men to something that appears to be a furry.
Stop! No one can touch the artifact.
I'm sorry, should you be yipping in a fur pile right now? On top of that, it appears that the people who made the cutscenes never talked to the rest of the team. Take this moment where you finish off your opponent. He runs away in the cutscene, and then a minute later, he's nonsensically returned when X-Blades jarringly cuts back to gameplay mode. Look, this is terrible.
Yeah, right.
Even if it didn't feature juvenile wardrobe decisions, X-Blades wouldn't produce even a hint of pleasure. Avoid, avoid, avoid. It's a 1.
Your time is over!
Out of 5. For years now, everybody has been asking, when are they finally going to make a video game based off the TV series Prison Break?
Somehow, I don't think so.
Okay, fine. Nobody in the history of the universe has ever wanted a Prison Break video game. But it happened, and yes, it sucks.
I don't think you have the requisite testicular proportion.
Here's the deal. You don't actually play as the main characters of the TV show. Instead, you're controlling an undercover agent who has been sent in to observe their attempts to break out.
New assignment, Paxton. You're going undercover at Fox River Penitentiary. Come on, boss. Prison?
The events of the game take place during Season 1 of the TV show. So right off the bat, there's no tension at all. First off, we don't care about this new character, and secondly, we already know how everything's going to turn out.
Shut up, stupid!
Yes, sir. On the plus side, this game answers the eternal question, what would Wentworth Miller look like if he were rendered by untalented 3D artists who gave him vacant doll eyes?
This is prison. I'm not here to make friends.
And you get to interact with classic characters like Teabag.
Watch your back, milk chicken.
Did Teabag just call me Milk Chicken? Man, I hope that nickname doesn't stick.
Yo, milk chicken! I got a message from Teabag!
Oh, crap.
Hello, milk chicken. Teabag sends his regards!
All right, already.
Back off, pigs!
There is combat, but the majority of your time is spent completing boring fetch quests with stealth gameplay that would seem dated in 1997. You can hit buttons to skillfully pull off QuickTime events, or not. Whoops. To further punish you, the developers have included mini-games like lockpicking or punching.
Come on, punch it! Punch! Come on, punch it!
Okay, this game is f***ing terrible. I don't want to say that getting stabbed in the stomach with a makeshift knife is more enjoyable than playing this, but let's just say that right now, I wish I was getting stabbed in the stomach with a makeshift knife. Prison Break the Conspiracy gets a 1.
Watch your back, milk chicken.
Out of 5.
Thanks, man. You saved my life.
Papillon was burly for rotten teeth and solitary. Oz was just plain nasty. And The Shawshank Redemption showed us the indomitable spirit of incarcerated human nature. Prison Tycoon just plain blows. Good movies about prison capture the horrible loneliness, the slow passage of time, and the brutality of life behind bars. Prison Tycoon is all about making inmates happy. Rehabilitation is on the menu, sort of. There's no component to mono-recidivism, but this exciting screen allows you to parole guys. Your tiny factories of human despair will need state-funded hotel amenities like weight rooms, theaters, auto shops. In short, they need a touch of tenderness so they may stride back into society as model citizens. Just like real prisons. You'll basically start with either a pre-existing institution or a grass field that requires large, drab buildings, retention fences, sleeping quarters, and of course, a chow line. Prison guards come with guard towers, and all of it costs money. The object of the game is making money. You accomplish this by putting your itty-bitty felons to work, getting liberal funding, and of course, state support for a job well done. You could just as easily call this Gulag Tycoon, Slave Labor Tycoon, Work Them to Death There's More Where They Came From Tycoon. Of course, if you don't treat the murderers nice, a prison's worst nightmare comes true.
A deadly drama carried out with crudely fashioned weapons.
3 strike weed dealers and panda rapers, all beating each other senseless. It's the prison riot! Or dance lessons for all these blitzing bits of color are capable of displaying. Even for all the Prison Manager game fans out there, we know you're out there, drinking generic alcohol. You'll find the label on your bottle more compelling than this hunk of detritus. At the end of the day, just eat something rancid, throw it up, and draw in the colorful pool with a stick. You'll be playing a better game than Prison Tycoon. A 1. Out of 5. I do try to keep an open mind. No, really. I'm reviewing NRA Varmint Hunter because we want to showcase a variety of cultures on X-Play. This is the culture that enjoys killing small rodents from a distance. Think of it as shock and awe for the lonely. While this is the first game to be a joint venture between a developer and an activist lobby, there are more to look forward to, like the AARP pension riot.
and Earth First Extreme Tree Sitting. So what does Varmint Hunter have to offer? Well, let's look at the game's press materials. The game offers a very high degree of realism and education. Animal behavior is modeled in the most realistic way. It's for you if you like pulling the trigger often. Because of that, the world of reloading is frequently an integral part of the sport. Reloading is a world like Unicron. Like you'll find that in ACLU Evolution Endorser or the Christian Coalition Fun Wheel of Blame. No, in this game, we learn how to approach a dog town and work that town to achieve stimulating shooting. Once again, work that town to achieve stimulating shooting. Like you'll find that in Advocates for Highway and Auto Safety Racing. No, this game allows you to compete against friends over the Speedco online network, which is cool, except it doesn't exist. Like the Log Cabin Republicans' endorsement hunt could ever make that claim. So, if this game looks appealing, then the National Review makes you Randy. Everyone else should just hold tight for the Entertainment Software Association's Cause and Effect Deniability Challenge. Do we even need to say it? A 1 out of 5.
Yo, kids, it's me, Glill. I'm the official mascot of the Torino Winter Olympic Games. Wait, where are you going? Don't you want to watch ski jumping? What about speed skating? Well, you must love cross-country skiing, right? I mean, every kid loves cross-country skiing.
Get out of here, Gliz. X-Play is no place for a cheery, upbeat cartoon character like you. This is a place where we review video games. Some of them are good. Some of them are Torino 2006, the official video game of the 20th Olympic Winter Games. Like Bodie Miller's medal count, Torino 2006 is a big disappointment.
Wow, he's taking the gate with him.
It combines the agony of defeat with, well, nothing. It's just the agony of defeat.
And that's the end of his race.
The main problem is the lack of variety. This game only has a handful of basic gameplay types. Downhill skiing, ski jumping, speed skating, bobsled and luge, and of course, the biathlon. Finally, a game for people who love to ski cross-country and shoot things. The makers of the game excluded every other event, so don't expect to play anything fun. Snowboarding? Nope. Ice hockey? Not there either. The least they could have done was to make up some fun fictional games. How about a vice presidential biathlon, where you ski cross-country for 2 miles and then get shot by Dick Cheney? Most of the games are played with timed rhythmic button pressing. It works okay, but it really makes controlling your proud, graceful Olympian feel like a mind-numbing chore.
Forget about that jump.
The best events are the luge and bobsled competitions. They sport a first-person view that's intense, and the controls are intuitive. Just steer with the analog stick to avoid rubbing up against the wall. But being the best event in Torino 2006 isn't exactly a difficult challenge. The rest of this game is so dull, it's no wonder it's sponsored by No-Dos.
No-Dos, keeping you awake during the Olympics since 1936.
The sportscasters do a good job of simulating how boring TV commentary actually is.
Did you know that alpine skiing became an Olympic discipline in 1936 in Garmisch-Partenkirchen? And that year only the combined was held.
Oh, right.
Fascinating. On top of that, Torino 2006 lacks the names and images of specific athletes in the Olympics. You're always playing as an anonymous, nameless citizen of whatever country you choose.
So this is an Italian athlete. Here comes the American.
And the competition is no different. Damn you, Computer 4, we'll meet again. Even at the low price of $20, this game can't capture a bronze. Torino 2006 gets a 1.
I'm sure he's satisfied with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Out of 5.
Oh, come on, Adam, that's not very... Oh, my arm! Oh,
For God's sakes, Mr. Cheney, I thought he was annoying too, but he's just a cartoon character. Oh, jeez. I thought he was made of ice. Look at all that blood.
It's all about the blood. Sweet, life-giving blood.
That's a pretty snazzy performance there.
Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog is back and taking his first sneaker-laden steps on the Xbox 360 and into the future of gaming.
How can this be our future?
This is terrible!
Don't get ahead of me, my little remnants of a prison shower clog. Animators have painstakingly slowed down every frame so gamers could truly appreciate the fine mahogany craftsmanship. But unfortunately, they had to replace the delicate grains with glitches. Hedgehog-killing glitches.
Whoa!
Not to say that the deficit of adequate controls and aiming hasn't taken out more furballs than the Turks during World War I. They have. Oh, and the camera. That swinging heifer unable to locate a solitary enemy on the screen. Go ahead. Locate the boss. Don't look towards Eggman's insidious devices to hand you your toe tag. It's the falling tower hidden by the camera that kills you in the end. No! At times, you can almost catch a glimmer of what next-gen Sonic could have been through the higher quality cutscenes. Not that they're all of highest caliber.
Okay, you be careful, Tails.
Or help make any sense of the story.
His power can change time and even manipulate the fabric of time itself.
And the barely legal furry undertones tend to stand out, especially if you do this.
I'm so glad that you came.
Despite what you think, Sonic is not about losing the princess, saving the princess, losing the princess, going back to town, saving the princess, seeing how fast an underage girl can pick matted blue hair out of her teeth, and dramatic pause. It's about the people.
Huh?
Helping the 10 or so people in this sparsely populated Duplo city. Like this good citizen, I accept the task and... yeah. Okay, and we're back, and she's telling me what I already know, and... what? Were you hoping to see more Shadow riding around a car, Silver missing every throw, or hours of my life wasted just pushing forward? So here's the puzzle. Obviously the number 5 is missing. I make my selection and... the loading screen is the mortar that keeps this house of Usher together. After leaving a city, before the boss fight, after you die, between cutscenes, before the results, after the results. Hold on, where was I? After the girl... and way after any redeeming quality may have been leached out of the series by some of the most uninspiring environments, shoddy controls, and degenerate use of the same stages over and over again by characters even less defined than a Rorschach test. That's why we're giving Sonic the Hedgehog for the Xbox 360... what? These are high-end scores! A 1 out of 5.
X-Play, we've turned... forget it. I can't do it. I can't lie to you nice people. Cliche or no cliche, Batman Dark Tomorrow is another crappy superhero game in a long line of crappy superhero games.
What's wrong?
A little history for you. Batman Dark Tomorrow was supposed to come out at the launch of the GameCube. It's been delayed for the past 2 years so the developers could fix it. So tell me, how do you spend 2 years fixing a game and still have it turn out this bad?
I'm afraid it's worse than that.
You can say that again. A couple of things about Batman. First, Batman swings gracefully from rooftop to rooftop. He does not just hang there like a dork. Second, Batman is not bulletproof. So why can you run blithely through a storm of bullets and then get knocked down by some chump's left hook? Third, when Batman knocks you down, you stay down. Apparently not in this game. You have to whip out the bat cuffs, strap them on, all while some guy's punching you in the back. Not fun.
Must you do that every time?
And then there are the many other bad game cliches. Let's see, bad controls? Check. Lousy cameras? Check. Annoying sidekicks? Oh, definitely check. Not only do you have the boy blunder along, you're also saddled with a librarian in a wheelchair. Have fun. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. Someday, someone will make a half-decent superhero game. Then I'll have fun. Until then, I'm just going to give Batman Dark Tomorrow a 1 out of 5.
now.
That's the best thing I've heard all day.
Many people ask, is Drake of the 99 Dragons based on an existing comic book? No, it's not. But if it were, that comic would suck.
What was that?
Okay, where do I begin? This is Drake. His skin pallor resembles moldy plasticine. He disfigured Jay Leno when he stole his chin, and his mouth is perpetually open as if he's as shocked as we are at how utterly crappy this game is. But he sure believes in himself.
Nothing can stop me now.
Drake is part of the clan of the 99 Dragons, except someone killed the other 98.
This can't be.
And he's kind of immortal or something.
Drink, and you'll be strong.
That's the key to immortality?
Bitter and sweet.
Honestly, I don't know what's going on here.
Do not fear. You can hear but are unable to move. The time has come.
What is clear is that Drake holds a gun in each hand and runs around shooting at things willy-nilly. The tutorial teaches combat as running away in a circle while mashing on buttons. You're such a badass. This running and gunning is aided by auto-aiming. But not really, because it doesn't work. What you get is Drake chaotically throwing his arms every which way like a some homicidal semaphore session.
Nothing can stop me now.
Look at this. Am I hitting anything? What's going on? In case you've recently gouged out your eyes and are just listening to the show, this game controls horribly. Running up the stairs is an effort. Running is an effort. The capper of this melange of mind-bogglingly bad decision-making is that depressing the left control stick slows time. You will slow time a lot by accident as you frantically attempt to make the controls work. Though it is useful for gunning down small Chinese girls.
Nothing can stop me now.
And then there's the camera. You get the sense the camera's constantly looking for a better game to depict, because it's not interested in you. Before it slips my mind, let me mention the graphics. At first, they seem interesting. Then you realize they're not. Drake himself shifts from animation to animation so abruptly I thought I was having a seizure. Then I realized it was my brain trying to shut down because it couldn't withstand the massive suck emanating from this game. So yeah, pretty much there's no reason to buy this game. No reason to rent this game. No reason to say any more about this game. But I have some time to kill. One out of 5.
Nothing can stop me now.
Shut up. We stopped you.
Here is where the story begins.
Hey, everyone, I need you to listen up. For the next 2 minutes, let's all pretend like we care that Rygar the Battle of Argus has come out for the Wii.
Rygar! Princess!
This isn't actually a sequel to the franchise. It's a near-exact replica of a 2002 PS2 game. And nothing makes people reach for their wallets like the phrase replica of a 2002 PS2 game. Now, granted, that game was actually pretty good for its time, but consider this. All they really changed is the addition of Wiimote controls. Oh, and now Rygar has prematurely white hair and a strangely intricate sports bra.
What do you know about me?
But this game is more than just a masturbatory aid for the West Hollywood nursing home. It's also a strong argument against pointless remakes for Nintendo's Funtime Novelty System, aka the Wii. Seriously, the control scheme adds almost nothing to the experience. I guess Tecmo assumes that we're a bunch of mouth-breathing idiots who are still entertained by swinging a plastic candy bar in front of our TVs over and over and over again. Well, it's not 2006, and we didn't just introduce our grandmothers to Wii bowling. This is old, people.
What's that?
And if you're going to go to the trouble of marketing a whole new game, you may as well spruce it up a bit. Environments are still weirdly barren. You fight the same monsters hundreds of times. The constantly shifting camera is as unbearable as ever, and Rygar's baby mama still looks like Britney Spears.
Cody Tiny Tea.
Okay, so here's where we talk about the positives, right? Nope. First of all, there are none. And secondly, this is my show and I'm late for my daily cranberry sauce enema.
This is no time to be talking so smugly.
Rygar the Battle of Something Something gets a 1.
What do you think you know?
Out of 5.
I beg you to come and kill me.
On the surface, Bad Day LA has the makings of a cool game. It's a third-person shooter that tells the story of a homeless man trapped in LA on a day where everything goes wrong.
Get off the freeway, you retard!
There's a terrorist attack. And an earthquake. Meteors, fire, superhuman villains, giants, and zombies. Yes, of course, there's zombies.
They want to eat me.
Okay, so you're thinking the hero is an action hobo and he has to traverse an entire city while fighting off gangs, the undead, and just about every other possible world-ending event all in one day. Awesome. I'm in like Osama is into Whitney Houston.
No! They want my pickle!
Oh, man! Don't talk about your pickle to me!
Then you play it. Suddenly, Bad Day LA is your bad day because you actually paid money for it. Although the cinematics would lead you to believe this game is going to have a real smooth, cool, and unique look, this doesn't translate to the actual gameplay. The bland graphics are akin to the type of game you get free from Kool-Aid for sending in 5 proofs of purchase labels from your Grateful Berry Blitz.
Another one bites the dust.
As cool as it might sound to play through a game as a battle-ready homeless guy, consider this. Do you really want to take the hero's journey with a guy who probably smells like part of that journey is never having to say, I wiped properly?
Something ain't right. Oh, morning breakfast burrito done up my pipes. Ooh.
Your main objective in this game involves a fair amount of outright murder, but at its core, you really just have to help people. In fact, of all the generic, same as it ever was weapons in this game, for instance, the shotgun that you'll have to shoot drug dealers with up to 5 times in order to bring them down, you'll probably be using the gauze the most. Yes, that's right, I said gauze, which you'll use to bandage and heal the panicked denizens of LA. Why? To earn smiley faces. Because isn't that what hobos are all about? Even the murderous railway ones. Sometimes when the game is just downright bad, a little humor can be its saving grace.
Damn, girl! You so fat when you cross the street, cars look out for you.
Not here. The jokes in this game are as tired as the sick kid that tags along with you the whole time puking on people as a weapon. I'm not going to say that all the jokes we do on X-Play are mature or thought-provoking, but the constant references to fine asses and mud butt in Bad Day LA get to be a bit much.
If you don't want to see it in mud butt, you best close your eyes.
Bad Day LA took a great apocalyptic premise, set it in a city that couldn't be more deserving of an apocalypse, and then totally crapped in their proverbial hobo trousers.
That's the way we do it!
Bad Day LA gets a 1.
Earthquake,
out of 5.
And that, boys and girls, is your lesson for the day.
Hey, Ma, I was shot 9 times, and all I got was this crappy video game.
Oh, you alive!
50, baby, we were sick about you.
50 Cent Bulletproof is a game that's 1 part hip-hop, 1 part shooter, and all parts crap. Let's detail its offerings. Well, you have 50 Cent, whose facial expression denotes an equal dissatisfaction with this muddy-colored waste of time, or someone just keeps rubbing poop on his upper lip. You can tell it's him by his bling. You know, I always wondered how Jesus would react to that cross. Let's see, it also has other rappers, Dre.
Oh, is that a ghost?
Eminem. But you shouldn't be playing this game for the robotic retirees of hip-hop.
Is that any way to welcome a guest?
This game is about action. All you do in this game is shoot. That's it. And guess what? The shooting sucks. It sucks so much, I'm not going to waste an analogy on it. No matter where you are, how close to an enemy you are, what gun you are using, you can't hit anything easily. This isn't realism, it's just complete crap. Look at this. In this game, I wouldn't even be able to donkey punch Fat Joe successfully.
I never ran from nothing.
Yeah, I know, because you can't run. 50 moves so sluggishly in this piece of programming Afterbirth. You think the developers thought that the crap aiming wouldn't be enough to inform the player that they had been ripped off?
Is money the only thing that matters to you? That's pretty funny coming from a guy who calls himself 50 Cent.
Okay, so for that reason alone, you should never play this game. But hold on, I want to point some other things out. Okay, here's one of the early missions. Yep, you've got to go to the laundry. But it gets better. You have to turn the power on for the laundry. Why? so you can leave the laundry.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
See how 50 is looking at the pen like it's as confusing as Medicare? That might explain this tidbit of dialogue.
Yo, these kids ain't from Queens, man. They using some high-tech shit.
Yep. That's what passes for deductive reasoning here. Using electronic armaments removes suspicion for all the inhabitants of one of the 5 boroughs.
Cover me, Frank.
So there you have it. This game has just been given more attention than it's ever worth. Thinking it's interesting because 50 Cent is involved is as sensible as letting Michelle Rodriguez drive you home safely. A 1 out of 5.
Come get some!
Hey, have you ever wanted to buy a video game that had no game in it but taught you how to create a video game?
Aha! So, you want to be the new game tycoon.
Have you ever sat down at your PC and said, wow, it would really be fun to learn more about banking. Is there a game out there for me?
I would like to apply for a loan.
Does any of this interest you? It does? What the fire truck is wrong with you?
I wish you good luck.
We're here to show you Game Tycoon, another in a long line of tycoon games like Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Stuart Little Tycoon, World War II Tycoon. I could go on. But why? Why? Indeed. For the sake of argument, say you might be interested in this, I hate to even say it, this game, and you want to learn about the video game business? Well, with Game Tycoon, you can learn to create a game engine. Borrow money for your gaming venture.
Welcome to our bank.
Talk to advertising companies.
My company has to be more publicly known.
Even go to the local college campus to hire some hungry programmers from the bulletin board. That is, if these damn college kids aren't off listening to Marilyn Manson, saving the forest, or some hippie crap like that.
Only you can prevent Game Tycoon.
Anyway, if you've ever wanted to sit at your computer playing a game about sitting at a computer, well then look no further. It's senseless. It's pointless. It seems like work. And most importantly, it just ain't fun.
Out of 100 people we interviewed, only 10 know your company.
Let's not forget, sometimes the buttons don't work, and sometimes they do. It's the chance you take.
I wish to finally pay back my credit.
If I want to learn about the business, I wouldn't have gotten into video game reviews. I would have opened, I don't know, a burger joint somewhere.
This game sucks.
Is there anything redeeming here? Well, the newsstand guy is somewhat humorous.
I need the laptop for my work.
Yep, we're grasping for straws with that one.
This game sucks.
We give Game Tycoon 1 waste of our sweet-ass time out of 5.
Maybe I can do you a favor next time.
Okay, pop quiz, hotshot. You got a crappy game that you don't want to review. If you don't, people will waste their hard-earned money and you'll get fired. If you do, your eyes will bleed from playing such a crappy game and you'll be forced to reference a movie from 1994. What do you do? What do you do? Well, since I can't lose another job, I'm gonna have to suck it up and review Smart Bomb for the PSP. A game that truly doesn't live up to the title. Well, they got the bomb part right. This dud is a typical puzzle game that tries to throw a story at you with cheap narration and even cheaper looking cutscenes. Basically, you are a bomb diffuser and you have one large bomb to defuse with many ingenious levels to it. Oh, when I say ingenious, I mean stupid and dumb. I swear, 3-year-old retarded monkey designed this game. Well, whoever you are, I have a big middle finger waiting for you when you want it. This is nothing that you haven't seen before in other games. The only twist is the controls are much worse and almost non-responsive. It's just item 171 on the game's glitch list. Of course, when you are almost out of time, the screen will start shaking violently, making it next to impossible to see what you are doing. It's as easy to control as an epileptic conducting brain surgery. Also, the levels can be really hard with little explanation on what to do and no time to figure it out. So that means you will retry a lot. Now, if this game had lightning-fast load times, that wouldn't be a problem. Yet they crawl like a slow-burning fuse. Okay, let me give you a taste of what I'm talking about. When you fail a puzzle, the screen will go white. Load. Then cut to an exterior of the explosion. Load. Then load again until you get another load screen to start the chapter all over again. For a game whose entire concept is based on timing, you'd think they would make the gameplay flow faster. It's just one steaming load after another. Now, let's say you're on puzzle 4 out of 6 to defuse this here bomb. Yeah, this damn mirror level really aches my nuts. After trying this over and over, I finally beat this level with luck, only to find the next level even harder, causing it to explode, then having to start every level all over again. Needless to say, the fun factor in this game equates to a romantic evening with my testicles and a cheese grater. I mean, the government keeps trying to crack down on the video game industry, saying that video games lead to violent behavior. Well, playing this game has really been giving me the urge to kill. And it's about bombs. Looks like the terrorists really have won. So, if you really are hard up for some puzzle solving, you'll do better playing the games on those annoying internet pop-ups while you're waiting for your porn to download. I swear, if you buy this game, your vocabulary will only consist of expletives, and your rage may cause serious damage to your PSP and anything else you throw at it. We give this waste of time a 1 out of 5.
Would you know my name if I played Shining Tears in Heaven? I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I'll never play Shining Tears in Heaven. Shining Tears is an RPG about a man with a past he can't remember. The so-called hero of the story washes up on a beach, is rescued by a lovely lady who hangs out by the beach, alone. He doesn't remember anything. Everybody believes it has to do with this mysterious ring that he's been carrying. Any resemblance to Lord of the Rings is purely intentional. This RPG also has some battle action in which the player... I can't read this anymore. This game is bad. This game is so bad.
How bad is it?
This game is so bad, it was caught lip-syncing on Saturday Night Live.
Hi-oh!
This game is so bad, Ben Affleck wants to star in a live-action movie.
Hi-oh!
This game is so bad, Jay Leno should host it.
Hi-oh!
If you like RPGs with hackneyed cliched writing, Shining Tears is for you. If you like combat with a sense of style, and by style I mean crap, then Shining Tears is your game. If you like graphics with a visual appearance not seen since the days... You know, this game is so bad, I can't even come up with a semi-clever metaphor. This is what I'd rather be doing than playing Shining Tears. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm being too insensitive about this game. Let's just listen in to Shining Tears and let the game speak for itself. I'm sorry. It's just this game is so bad, my mind starts wandering to random thoughts. You'll find yourself in all sorts of battles with hoodlums, wolves, and whatever these slimy whatevers are. Look at these wolves waiting to pounce. It's like Tara Reid on an alcoholic beverage or something. Will somebody hit something already? Here's a list of things you could be doing instead of playing Shining Tears. If there's one good thing I can say about this game, it's that this segment is now over. Shining Tears gets a 1 out of 5. All right!
Playing Darkest of Days is like getting tied to a chair by a video game developer and punched in the face over and over and over again. This game / hallmark of electronic vacuity begins at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. As a member of Custer's army, you get shot with an arrow in what appears to be your junk. Then a glowing plasma ball materializes, and out steps a future soldier who whisks you off to a laboratory where a woman with a horrible accent tells you that you have to fix anomalies in time.
You are in the future from your perspective.
God in heaven, I wish I had just made that up. But no, that literally is what happens. You'll be aided by Agent Dexter, a gruff ex-firefighter who never met a swear word or cliche he didn't love.
I guess you're the new guy. I wasn't asking for advice. Can't believe we made it out of that bust.
All right, already, we get it. You're a grizzled veteran.
You wonder why you're here? Or why I'm here?
Yes. God, yes. The game makes you suffer through several famous historical battles, which prove educational. Hey kids, did you know the Battle of Antietam looked like a badly programmed N64 game? Stay in school. Also, using anachronistic weaponry in period battles isn't as fun as it sounds. Yep, nothing makes you feel like a big man quite like shooting a Native American in the face with a laser-equipped semi-automatic rifle. Hey, maybe there's a button that lets me fire smallpox-infected blankets. The AI is so bad that enemies often don't look at you even as you murder their friend who is standing right next to them. And graphical glitches like this one aren't exactly helping.
Much work still needs to be done.
Yes, it does. Although VGA graphics were invented decades ago, Darkest of Days only features 3 colors: green, brown, and extra brown. The game gets the specifics wrong as well. I'm not a weapons expert, but I think that the ammunition belt is supposed to get pulled through the gun, not just shaped. Oh, game developers, it's so cute how you don't know how anything works. On the upside, well, there probably won't be a sequel.
You gentlemen are not exactly building a great track record.
Darkest of Days gets a 1.
Wanna bet you piece of
out of 5.
Tony Hawk Ride may go down in history as the game that finally ended the motion control craze. The game's developers have taken a cue from the Wii balance board and packed in a wireless skateboard controller. The peripheral is solid and durable, but there's just one problem. The game is an enormous piece of crap.
Now get in there, let's do it.
To help us demonstrate, we've invited X-Play's #1 fan Gamertag to... what are you wearing?
Hey, Morgan, it's great to be here. I'm dressed up like Christian Slater from Gleaming the Cubes. And I'm getting ready to gleam my own cubes on Tony Hawk's Ride.
That's, really precious.
Look at me, skating the Tony Hawk way. Awesome.
Anyway, as you'll quickly find, the controls in Tony Hawk Ride are largely broken. You lift your nose to ollie and slide your foot alongside the board to push.
Now that you know how to stand on the board and push, it's time to start the fun.
Actually, Tony, the fun never really starts.
Grinds! Grinding objects is a blast.
Yeah, not really. Manuals are surprisingly satisfying to pull off, but as you might expect, many of your movements don't register on time.
There's kind of a delay when I do everything, especially when I'm skating.
Yeah, and even when it works right, the game never really feels like skateboarding. On easy mode, you don't even steer the board. It's like the skateboarding equivalent of an on-rail shooter.
Let me ask you this, should I be experiencing a burning sensation in my shins?
Not unless your lower legs had sex with a meth-addicted prostitute. The repetitive nature of Ride is just another reason the game should be buried 6 feet under the earth and never be heard from again.
Maybe I could just use the controller?
Unfortunately, the answer is no. The gameplay has been built around the busted peripheral, so the open-world elements of previous games are gone. There is absolutely no scenario under which Tony Hawk Ride would provide even the slightest hint of pleasure.
Well, what if I actually take it outside and skateboard with it?
Well, we paid $120 for it, but there's nothing you could do to make it more broken. Do you want to have a skateboarding montage set to terrible punk music?
Morgan, it's my destiny.
On one level, we have to admire Tony Hawk Ride for its Hail Mary pass attempt at revitalizing the franchise, but the laggy motion controls, unresponsive steering, and repetitive gameplay make this a 1.
This is a true Cinderella story.
Out of 5.
See you at the next cube we're gonna gleam.
Oh, fairy tales. They're the best possible way of teaching young children about incest and infanticide. But thanks to a sassy green ogre who stormed onto movie screens a few years ago, fairy tales have now gotten sassy. Fairy Godmother Tycoon attempts to do a similar job of turning traditional folktales on their heads, but fails resoundingly because it fails to include a game in the game. That's overstating things just a bit. There is a game in Fairy Godmother Tycoon, but it doesn't really involve any fairy godmothering. You don't turn any mice into horses or turn char girls into princesses. You sell potions. Yeah, it's lemonade stand. You buy ingredients, set a price, and hire staff depending on the curse forecast. Yes, they couldn't come up with anything more original than the 30% chance of rain you got from lemonade stand on the Apple II. It is stunning that a modern game gives you so little to do. Aside from the budgeting, all you can do is sit back and watch villagers rush around, possibly seeking aid in your shop. Sure, there are bells and whistles, like an elf to make potions quicker, or a jester to entertain the folks in line, but it's all just a cheap ripoff of the juicer and clown from Lemonade Tycoon. And there are cutscenes. If you consider this a cutscene, they place a hilarious spin on all our favorite characters. Haha, dragons that are hippies. It's crazy.
Seriously, is one of these potions an elixir of sweet release of death? And periodically, your favorite fairy tale characters will come up to you with highly improbable scenarios for you to adjudicate. Why, that wolf blew down the little pig's house because the pig owed the wolf a mortgage payment? Comedy platinum. This game is horrible. It's an apostasy. It reminds me of the moral iniquity of a godless universe. It sucks. Its only purpose is to play on the naivete of parents buying games to distract their children long enough for mommy to finish the New York Times crossword. Go to hell, Fairy Godmother Tycoon, and take your 1 out of 5 with you.
This is Aquaman. Doesn't look like Aquaman to me. This is Aquaman. You know, the Luke Skywalker boyishness, the tasteful scaly orange mixed with the industrial green of his gloves. This guy, he's got a blonde mullet and a claw hand. What happened? A horrible disaster at a Skinner concert? Now, if you think the Fishman looks bad, check out the game. You swim, and you fight. Swim more, then fight. That's it, and it still barely works. Reminds me of another famous superhero game, the abominable Superman 64. Looks like the Man of Steel's got a buddy. Now, we all know that Aquaman's superpower is that he can talk to fish. Look what happens when the concentric circles come out of his head in the game. Oh yeah, that's exciting. Well, I'm not gonna let some stupid game prevent me from a decent Piscean human discourse. Meet Slippy. He's my new buddy that I took around my hometown. Slippy and me became fast friends. He loved the view. Which is more than I can say for the graphics in Aquaman. The word I like to use is dull. The only effort seems to have been put into Aquaman's golden, flowing mullet. And these are what pass for cutscenes. Comic book panels without sound. But you can add your own.
Arthur, you must stop him. You cannot allow this man to continue to attack Atlantis or us.
He will not of that, you can be sure. Slippy and I had far better conversations. We talked about his life in the ocean and even called some family. As I said before, virtually all you do in Aquaman is fight bad guys. Sometimes to deactivate bombs, and other times to rescue these Tama Finland rejects. You'd expect then that the combat might be half decent at least. This is the highlight. The controls are mushy, and some combos require an absurd amount of memorization. Not that it matters. Just hit some buttons, move on, hit some buttons. There's some sub-levels to break things up. The best way to describe them is imagine something fun, then take away the fun part. Speaking of fun, Slippy and I were having a blast until we went to the wrong part of town. After that, he started to act surly. I think he had too much water.
No.
Aquaman is one of the worst games to come out this year. It has just enough elements to qualify as a game, and no more. There is not one interesting aspect of this title to even warrant a rental. Aquaman, the fight for Atlantis, sleeps with the fishes. A 1 out of 5. Oh, and Slippy, well, he made some comment about my hair. I made a comment about deep fat fries and big appetites. Amazing. Such a bad game, but made for such a great day. What do you get when you take everything good about multiplayer fighting games and leave out the good part? Why, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Melee, of course. Dull, pointless, and not entertaining in any way, shape, or form, Mutant Melee is the miscongeniality 2 of video games. There are 2 modes of play available, bad and worse. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. You can play the bad single-player adventure mode, or the even worse multiplayer Mutant Melee mode, which you can also play alone. And you may have to, as you're bound to lose any friends who you sucker into playing this with you. Yeah! The word play shouldn't even be used here. Play is something that brings joy and amusement. Instead of playing Mutant Melee, you'll feel more like you're painting it, because it will definitely pain you. Even the word game shouldn't be used here, but I guess agony-inducing rite of passage like the kind some tribes force their young men to go through a puberty that you see on the Discovery Channel is too large to fit on the box.
Think I'm overreacting? Look, you can play as Billy Ray Cyrus with a hockey stick. Does that sound like a game to you? Here's a game much more exciting than Mutant Melee. Aw, scissor cut paper again. Mutant Melee offers the excitement of a game of keep away. Or for something more challenging, you can play this. Guess which hand the coin's in? Not that one. That one. Ooh, shiny. In an effort to mix things up, Mutant Melee offers you a variety of characters who pose, and pose, and pose, and pose. The wonders don't stop there, with such incredible unlockables as this picture. Yeah. The multiplayer Melee allows you to see what it's like when you're on one side of the screen, and the camera stays fixed on all the CPU's players somewhere else. And when you die, or anyone else for that matter, you don't die. You just come back again and again, no matter how bad you are. Just like John Travolta. For a better multiplayer experience, try a nice simple game of Hangman. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Melee. If you buy it for yourself, you're a moron. And if you get it as a gift from your parents, it means they hate you. Available on the Xbox and GameCube, which along with the PSP is something else for Sony to brag about. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Melee needs a pity point just to land it a 1 out of 5. Okay, let's do this. Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers is exactly what you'd expect. A big pile of This shameless sequel is exclusive to the Wii, and as such, it features terrible repetitive motion control. Since the sword swings don't really match up with your movement, you're left arbitrarily shaking the Wiimote. You can play as 2 different skanks, but the reality is they control pretty much the same way. Really, really badly. And they both share the strange habit of talking to themselves for about 15 minutes before commencing combat. Why are the zombies just standing there like that? Are they waiting for her to finish her thought? Are they somehow aware that they're currently in a cutscene? But once the talking ends, the slaying begins, and that's when the game, well, continues to be awful. Essentially, the entire game boils down to you running from room to room and waving your sword really fast. That's it. They didn't even bother to fix the awkward translation, which is filled with gems like, as unrealistic as it seems, the city is overflowing with undead. Masterful storytelling, guys. Or there's this dialogue where your character says, but the stirring in my chest can only be her. I feel a stirring in my chest too. Oh wait, no, it's my penis. It's in my penis. Oh, and don't forget our favorite part of the game, point get. Really, guys? Normally, we call this one a guilty pleasure, except that Onechanbara is incapable of providing even a tiny scrap of pleasure. It's just an exercise in mindless repetition that will eventually make you go blind. And not because you're compulsively masturbating while playing, but because you will stab out your own eyes after 20 minutes. Onechanbara Bikini Zombie Slayers is a 1 out of 5.
Oh, Tycoon games. There sure are a lot of you. We started out with Railroad Tycoons, Zoo Tycoons, and the classic Lemonade Tycoon. Why there are so many Tycoon games, they could make a game about becoming a tycoon from making games. Oh, wait, there's one called Game Tycoon. So that's not technically a joke. It's more like a sad reality. But the problem is that these games are all about industries that could never, ever, in a million years make you a tycoon. I mean, when was the last time you met a lemonade magnate? Or a billionaire who made his first million through deft placement of primate cages? Finally, here's a tycoon game that's about something that could make you rich. And it blows harder than a Class 4 hurricane. Mall of America Tycoon puts you in charge of America's temple to the goddess of capitalism. Or more accurately, a 16th of it. When you start out, you only get to manage 1/4 of one floor. And the gameplay goes downhill from there. Is this even a real job? What's your title? Guy who manages 1/4 of one floor of a mall? What gameplay you do get is grossly unrealistic. For instance, if you want to build a restaurant, you can build a pizza shop, which is inventively named Pizza, or a hamburger place called Burgers. Anyone want to guess the name of the coffee shop? Or how about the supermarket? Are you telling me they really couldn't get product tie-ins with places like Sbarro and Panda Express? Maybe they paid money not to appear. When the lease for a store runs out, it doesn't go vacant. It simply crumbles into a heap of debris. I'm sorry, but there's just no way actual civic-minded Midwesterners would walk by a mess like that without cleaning it up. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm not in enough of a Minnesota state of mind to truly understand this game. Perhaps I need to immerse myself in upper Midwestern culture to truly appreciate a game about the Mall of America. Thus, I present the first edition of Morgan's Midwestern Minute.
Oh, gee there. That was some one humdinger of a game. Oh, yeah, you betcha. Them cheese curds I ate at that food court reminded me of going ice fishing with my Uncle Ollie and Aunt Lena. Oh, yeah, those were some good times there. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it didn't help. This game gives a new meaning to the word boredom. Maybe when you live in a frozen wasteland ruled by a crazy pro wrestler, a place like this seems fun. But to a decadent urbanite like yours truly, it's an insult to shopping malls and strategy games alike. Mall of America Tycoon gets 1 abandoned Abercrombie & Fitch storefront out of 5.
Do you remember Bomberman? Sweet, innocent, square-headed Bomberman. Well, he's got a makeover, and this is the Bomberman of today. Bomberman Act 0 takes place in a depressing post-apocalyptic world where combatants are only bred for one reason: non-stop bombing action. What's confounding is that while the look is new, the gameplay is still the same old Bomberman. Only you look like Master Chief and Venom had a baby. In an age where the term Bomberman evokes images of terrorists, did we really need this dreary update? Well, to answer that question, we've got a special guest on the phone, Dr. Heimlich Betzer, who has a PhD in psychology and is author of the book, Sweet Christ, That Sucked. Hello, Herr Doctor.
Guten Tag, Adam.
So, how do you feel about the fact that there are 99 levels and no save option?
That suck knows no bounds. It's like, suck is right here, and that is somewhere way beyond it. It's like way over there. I mean, who would do that?
And what about the issue of the absence of local multiplayer? You can only play with someone else over Xbox Live.
Oh, that definitely sucks. I haven't been this disappointed since someone served me chocolate cake without the coconut.
Now, can you actually quantify how bad these aspects suck?
Certainly. I would say it falls somewhere between the film Lady in the Water and the Black Plague.
The bubonic plague, the one that killed hundreds of thousands of people in the Middle Ages?
Jawohl, Bomberman has slightly less suck than that. Slightly less. Just a tiny bit of suck less. Less, is that how you say it in the English? Suck less? Less suck?
Staggering figures, Doctor, and most likely accurate, too.
Adam, I don't just make this stuff up off the Glockenspiel.
Well, there you have it, folks. Along with the new look and lame features, the developers did manage to throw in one interesting idea. You can play as a bomber woman. Yep, us boys no longer have to bear the brunt of this terrible game alone. Now girls can identify with their own gender-specific avatar. I mean, this is post-apocalypse, people. Women should have the same rights as men to be born and bred as fighting machines, right? You've come a long way, baby. One thing's for certain, this Bomberman's a dud. And if you don't believe me, then maybe you listened to that horrible quack of a doctor we had on earlier. Who did he think he fooled with that awful German accent anyway?
Adam, I'm still on the line here.
We get Bomberman Act 0, a 1 out of 5.
You are in.
Competitive high-stakes poker. If I had a nickel for every mediocre poker game ever released, I'd have a ton of nickels.
Let's play.
Oh, great, another one. Below average graphics, terrible voice acting, disappointing gameplay. Yep, it's all there.
You are calling so I can pound you on the river.
Hello, nickel. But wait, World Championship Poker featuring Howard Lederer, all in for the PS2, is different. How so? Well, it features Howard Lederer, of course. Nice!
No hand, so I'm out.
Now, I'm gonna be honest here. I have absolutely no idea who Howard Lederer is, and I'm fine with that. Could I spend a minute looking him up online? Sure. Did I? No. Why? Because who cares, that's why. If someone takes a crap on your front lawn, do you really want to know any more about the guy who did it? No, you just want the crap to go away.
You want it bad, I can see that.
Okay, let's get this over with, starting with the good. Don't worry, I'll be brief. World Championship Poker featuring Howard Lederer, All In, or WCPFHLAI for short, allows you to play 19 different types of poker, which is rare for the genre.
No hand, so I'm out.
The graphics are terrible. So bad, in fact, that you'll probably want to double-check to make sure you're actually playing a PS2 and not your old Sega CD. But hey, at least the dialogue stinks too. It's super repetitive, and most of the time, it makes no sense at all.
Ow, my leg hurt!
This is funny the first time.
Let's pump up this pot.
After that, it's...
Let's pump up this pot.
It's...
Let's pump up this pot.
Oh, for the love of God, will you please stop saying that?
You want it bad, I can see that.
As the suck train rolls on, you'll visit the pawn shop or your empty apartment. Why? Who knows? Customize your own character for a real treat. Choose from male, female, dog, Elton John, or the old fake arrow through the head gang. Now that's hilarious. Oh, Lederer, you don't know when to quit. Seriously, quit making video games already!
Come on. Come on.
Don't worry, we're almost finished.
Go ahead and knock yourself out, buddy.
Between games, you'll receive totally complicated, completely useless tips, like this one about counting cards. Whoa, that's confusing. And I'm pretty sure it's cheating, too.
Are you all afraid of my power?
Just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, we saw this.
Pair of queens wins. How's it? Two pairs?
Twice.
King.
All right, that's it. We're done. World Championship Poker featuring Howard Lederer, All In, gets a 1.
No hand, so I'm out.
Out of 5.
Ow, my leg hurt.
There are many ways a game can go wrong, and Fugitive Hunter manages to find just about all of them. This is one game that will not make you proud to be an American, or a video game fan, or alive for that matter.
Roger that, Sierra 5, I understand.
You play as a special operative in the CIFR.
The Criminal Interdiction and Fugitive Recovery Task Force.
Yeah, that. Your job is to hunt down a bunch of fictional fugitives until you ultimately square off with public enemy number 1, Osama bin Laden. I wish I could run away from this crappy game. Aside from hunting down dirtbags like bin Laden, Fugitive Hunter plays like every other first-person shooter. You have weapons.
Your mother.
Oh, plenty of weapons. Sorry, what was that? Oh, you want more of the RPG? Sure, here you go. The coolest weapon is the TV grenade. Peekaboo! And you've got enemies. Tons of enemies.
Oh my God.
And let me tell you, they simply love the flamethrower. I believe I can fly. Terrorists are supposed to be dumb, but this is ridiculous. No, of course I can't see you hiding against that dark wall in your white clothes. And hey, what's going on over here? So that's how they train terrorists. As if they don't act stupid enough while alive, enemies constantly respawn behind you. When was the last time you saw someone climb down a ladder head first? Exactly. Though you're free to gun down wave after wave of nondescript terrorists, the dastardly fugitives cannot be harmed. Instead, you have to capture them by beating them down in a ridiculous fighting minigame. Virtual Fighter 4, this is not. You may not be able to shoot the fugitives, but post-capture kicks to the head are, however, encouraged. Are we done yet? Oh no, then there's the writing. Pull up a chair and have yourself a listen to these Pulitzer Prize-worthy quips.
Too slow.
Oh yeah. You like that?
No, not really. So, what have we got here? The gameplay's dull, the fighting minigames are hilarious, and the enemies are morons. That's it. Keep coming, boys. But that's nothing compared to how little tact was used in making this game. It constantly preys on fear and hatred, yet the final showdown with Bin Laden plays out like it's a joke.
If you kill me, 1,000 more will rise.
Alright, then we'll keep you alive. The bounty on Fugitive Hunter is minimal for a 5-4. 3, 2, 1 out of 5.
Going to be kicking your ass.
There are tons of new Tycoon games on the market, but until now, they've all overlooked the most obvious place to build things: underwater. Meet Deep-Sea Tycoon Diver's Paradise. You're not going to need a bigger boat, or any boat at all for that matter. As a Deep-Sea Tycoon, your job is to build an underwater environment that accommodates both human scuba divers and their natural enemies, colorful sea life. Why are you doing this? I don't know. Maybe you've just been barred from the roller coaster industry. Look, do you want to be a tycoon or not? Then just shut up and listen. Diver's Paradise boasts ridiculously easy challenges, as well as an understanding of oceanography that would have Jacques Cousteau rolling in his grave.
Unfortunately, I was cremated, so I can't roll in my grave. Also, I didn't realize a dead body could still feel pain. If any of your relatives have been cremated, know they have suffered immensely.
Whatever you do, don't let the easy-on-the-eyes graphics seduce you into forgetting one critical fact. This game is boring. A challenge may require you to, say, I don't know, create 1 to 3 animals. How do you do this? Why, you click the Create Sea Life button 1 to 3 times. Done. I guess the idea is that completing levels so quickly will make you feel like a real-life hotshot tycoon. Move over, Carnegie and Rockefeller, because I can click my mouse button twice in a row. However, unlike a real tycoon, you are also interested in making people and animals happy. Hey, buddy, I'm just taking a survey. Are you happy? How would you rate your quality of life, sir? Sir? Once you spent the 30 seconds it takes to make the fish happy, you can move on to the divers. All that's required is a few underwater snack bars and gift shops. I wonder what Jacques Cousteau would think of the pristine underwater world being invaded by commercial enterprises. Ah, the banning! I can still feel the banning! Why didn't I just get buried? Ah! If you build it underwater, they will come. And they'll start taking pictures of the world you've created.
Oh god, he sees me. Okay, act cool. Pretend you don't see him. Oh great, he brought his friends. Listen guys, could you give me some room? I mean, I'm trying to... To
the people out there making tycoon games, I've got a suggestion. Tower of Babel Tycoon. Hear me out on this, hear it out. You just keep building and building until you reach the gods, or until they decide to exact their revenge upon you. But for now, the gods choose to punish us with Deep-Sea Tycoon Diver's Paradise. More unpleasant than a mouthful of salt water, Deep-Sea Tycoon Diver's Paradise gets 1 sickly starfish out of 5.
Cessler was right. Thing Cook sucks.
I'm Albert Pujols. Welcome to Backyard Baseball 2007.
The pitch?
Backyard Baseball 2007 for the PS2 is the only kids game to hold licensing rights for both Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association. That's a shame, because the only thing this game hits a home run at is being awful. Yes, I know this is a game for kids and they can barely wrap their minds around the concept of not messing their granimals, let alone playing anything more complicated than let's hit ourselves in the head with a padded bat. But even they don't deserve this.
I'm Albert Pujols.
Save it, Pujols. Sure, things start out innocent enough.
Come on, let's get together and play in the sunny summer weather and...
Yay, this is gonna be fun. Look, Billy, it's all your favorite players, like A-Rod, Paul Konerko, and Albert Pujols.
I'm Albert Pujols.
Seriously, Pujols, not now. As you take the field, prepare to be bombarded by the worst color commentary of all time, delivered by what sounds vaguely like a kid.
Don't think the batter could have gotten wood on that one.
We know he's not, because his go-to banter isn't about that one time that Bob the Builder befriended a dump truck with a southern accent.
I've seen him park those balls in Mrs. Hughes' backyard.
Most of the time, he can't even get the sex of the players right.
So
Peter.
the batter?
Got him. Tried to backdoor him.
Swinging.
Got him.
If you can tune him out, you'll be able to hear the supportive words of your teammates.
Feel free to swing, statue. Have you heard the one about the guy who strikes out?
Kicks and delivers.
Hit the ball! ball!
Maddeningly annoying dialogue aside, this game also involves playing baseball, if that's what you call it, considering that baseball for the NES offered more control than this game. The fielding mechanics will cause plays to go awry for no reason at all. Oh, drunk fan dad is not gonna like that one. Offense is no better, as players often advance to bases that the ball has already been thrown to. That is, when they're not randomly running into a fence. Long story short, we let a 9-year-old play backyard baseball, and he actually asked if he could stop. This game needs to be sent back down to the farm league, and by farm league, I mean wherever it is on a farm that pigs are, so they can wallow in it. Backyard Baseball 2007 gets a 1
Ang Albert Pujols.
out of 5.
Enter an odious realm where evil is always in residence. A horrible world of corporate cannibalism. A place where you'll be chewed more than your mother's Salisbury steak. Where bodily fluid will flow more liberally than A1 on flavorless meatloaf. Enter the aging game space of Resident Evil Code Veronica X, where everything is as it was and nothing has been made current at all. Umbrella up, game fans, it's raining guano as Veronica X plods from a GameCube near you in all its year 2000 original release splendor. It's moaning zombies ahoy as you navigate the endless archipelagos of dimly lit dread, killing and collecting on the road to salvation. In the year 2000, this game had a creepy charm, as evil perverted innocence and mangled corpses leapt at you from the shadows. In 2004, fear is replaced with brain-clearing frustration as you flip the switch on some gizmo, only to realize you're missing the butternut squash of destiny necessary to spring someone from a locked room or door. This means backtracking through a bazillion doors, ladders, and giant worm obstacles to get back to that damn thing you forgot in order to continue. Walking and running mechanics are also made faithfully frustrating as you move, stick, and press buttons wildly trying to target the wandering legion-covered skin suits that block your path. Of course, if you're packing enough heat, none of that will really concern you much. As you immerse yourself in the drama of the storyline, you'll discover Claire Redfield has to deal with this whimpering post-puber.
I can't!
And this sadistic fun guy with a wicked sense of humor.
You don't fool me!
All clothed in the fruity sweetness of a Days of Our Lives melody line. Welcome to the Days of Our Deceased, brought to you by your friends at Lime Away Corpse Cleanser. Cut, stop the game, I want to get off. Awkward controls, sleepy puzzles, aggravating targeting, and endless backtracking. What's to love here, folks? Especially for the less than reissue price tag of $39.99. For those of you this game gave that creepy feeling to all the way back in 2000, you can have that nostalgia back again. For us, its expiration date is long past. We give it a 1 out of 5.
Sometimes you just get a certain feeling about a game. It stirs something deep down inside you, something primal, the kind of gut feeling that tells you, this game sucks. Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad should have a lot going for it. It's connected to an anime franchise. There's more blood than you can shake a hepatitis test at. And the lady parts? Good lord, the lady parts. Yes, Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad should have a lot going for it, but it's a fail. This game is so bad. When it arrives in stores, they should take the entire box and dump it right in the bargain bin without opening it. Unless they have something more insulting than a bargain bin. In that case, it should go there. As you mindlessly button mash your way through the yawn-inducing levels, you'll find this game brings up more questions than it answers. What went wrong here? And here? Exactly how does one make a computer-generated character come off as a bad actor? It shouldn't be possible.
Himiko-sama.
Terrible! Nothing moves the way it should in Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad. Not the vehicles, not the people, and especially not the enemies. I mean, they don't attack you, and most of the time they're just hanging out. You know what? I think Daddy needs a reminder why he fished this one out of the toilet. Okay, exactly what is causing the jiggling on this one? The truth of the matter is that Tetris for the original Game Boy had more menacing enemies than Onechanbara Bikini Samurai Squad, and those were just shapes. But Adam, there's hot girls in tiny undies running around and being hot in super hot ways. Isn't that worth something? No. A 1 out of 5.
These are the voyages of the Starship Excelsior. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where none have gone before.
Well, let's see. Where are we going today? We have an evil checkoff.
Welcome to the eye of the storm, old comrade.
You can tell he's evil because of his jaunty yellow sash. We have endless internal monologues by George Takei.
Since its properties seem to have been responsible for our through Terran spaces, I fear we have not seen the last of Commander Chekhov.
We have a plucky little fighter that can take down an Enterprise-class starship. And we have lots and lots of this. In Star Trek Shattered Universe, USS Excelsior, captained by Mr. Sulu,
all hands, prepare for impact,
gets sucked into the Mirror Universe, where the Federation is evil. And the Romulans and Klingons are relatively nice guys. You're a nameless combat pilot who has to fly around shooting wave after wave of small fighters, usually to defend the Excelsior, or you may have to complete some mindless mission like move from point A to point B, collecting resources or whatever.
Follow your radar to navigation point 3.
But all these cliched mission objectives wouldn't be so bad if the game actually played well. First, your weapons are lame. Your photon torpedoes are useless on anything except the starship, so you're stuck smashing both the phaser and laser bolt buttons at the same time, and they both suck and are hard to aim.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're not helping! And just when you think you're getting somewhere, they suddenly change objectives on you. After several waves of boring dogfights to clear the path for the Excelsior, you'll suddenly have to single-handedly assault a major capital ship, which can kill you in a few well-aimed bursts. Why your tiny little ship is taking on huge starships with no support from the Excelsior is never explained. Maybe Captain Sulu has it out for you, but dying, of course, means having to play the whole damn mission over again.
I order you to surrender your vessel.
Your vessel? And most of all, the game lacks personality. It does have George and Walter. Oh, Walter, I kid. You look very nice in your sash. But it doesn't have much else. Star Trek Shattered Universe gets a 1 out of 5. Maybe now it will boldly go away. And that's pretty much the best scene of Splinter Cell Chaos Theory for the DS. And you know something? It wasn't even that good a scene. We didn't even want to cover this game, but we did. Well, because, sadly, that's what we do here. It's in our contract. Go! It's a DS game, so let's discuss screens. The top screen has Sam going through his fisherness. You know by now, the walking around, the killing, the door opening, the killing, and of course, the crouching, and the crouching. Here's the bottom screen. We'll get back to the bottom screen in a moment. Too much negativity isn't healthy for any of us. Andy Dick taught us that.
Hey, you!
So let's focus on something positive here. My grandmother always said, before we sold her to a Thailand sex slave ring back in '98, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. Here's the good. It's Chaos Theory. Pretty much the same storyline we've seen before. He's deader than Elvis.
Don't bring me into this one, baby.
The weapons are the same. That's always, something. It just looks so cheap. How cheap? Well, cheaper than this, if you get my meaning. I don't want to whine about the play of the game, but alright, twist my arm. I mean, you're playing along with the game, then all of a sudden, freeze! And wait, and go.
What a hunka burning crap, baby.
Let's check in on the second screen for some more high-octane action.
The problem is that the bottom screen is just so captivating that you stare at it wondering what it's for, what is its purpose, and you don't pay attention, and then... You're as dead as John Goodman in 2 years. Maybe. Just a hunch. What more needs to be said? I mean, you see what I see, don't you? Do I really have to say it? Splinter Cell Chaos Theory for the DS gets an overly generous 1 out of 5. Stay away. Stay far, far away.
Dancing, dancing, dancing.
Dancing, singing, making videos, and getting your boogie on. Kinda reminds you of the flick Boogie Nights, right? Well, let's just say it's about 13 inches short of that. This is Boogie. A unique rhythm and singing game exclusively for the Wii. It's unique in a sense that it barely qualifies as a game, let alone a good one. Part karaoke revolution, part random rhythm game, the premise is simple. Make the bootleg Toe Jam and Earl character dance to the beat by waving the Wii remote up or down or side to side. And by doing so, you build up boogie power, which allows you to pull off special moves or pose during your climax, much like Dirk Diggler. Sounds simple, right? It's simple in the fact that this game lacks a challenge. In fact, the songs have no bearing on the gameplay at all, not even the rhythm. Here's a demonstration. While playing, the speaker in the Wii remote produces a metronomic click that is out of sync with the beat of the song. So, which beat are you supposed to follow? The one from the controller or the one from the song? The answer is, who gives a Just flail your arms like a jackass and you'll do splendidly. It's a rhythm game that lacks rhythm. Is it wrong for me to say that Stephen Hawking has more rhythm than this game? What the hell does Fergalicious mean anyway? Or more importantly, who cares? Speaking of bad singing, the singing portion uses the USB mic that comes with the game. You can dance and sing at the same time. It plays much like Karaoke Revolution, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I think you have all suffered enough from X-Play's bad singing. The only interesting feature is the Video Maker, which lets players record and edit their painful performances. Other than that, the visuals are nice, and Boogie features a diverse playlist of songs that range from Culture Club to Britney Spears.
Oh, baby, baby, oops, you think I'm in love.
And as we know, anything associated with Britney Spears is guaranteed to be an easy but painful experience.
See, my problem is this.
And trust me, after playing this game, it will really feel like you are out boogieing a night with Britney. After the 2 minutes you're done with it, it will feel like you are urinating Tabasco.
Taste it.
This game is literally that excruciating. Boogie gets a 1 out of 5.
Welcome to the world of Spikeout Battle Street, where masculine stereotypes engage in furious fisticuffs for control of an industrial island whose importance is never actually explained. This guy sure wants it, though.
Vengeance will soon be mine!
Man, nothing's changed. The place is still a dump. Oh, what's up?
It's been so long, Junior.
Spike Jr., the son of a legendary street fighter, returns to Diesel Town to find anarchy in the streets and his father nowhere to be found.
Enough of this touchy-feely stuff. Just answer my question. Why am I here?
This begins a long string of horribly written, acted, and rendered cutscenes.
I'll clean up Diesel Town, I promise. But Dad's on his own.
Junior, wait! Where's he going? He's just walking out toward nothing. Spikeout is a beat-em-up in the vein of such classics as Streets of Rage, Double Dragon, and River City Ransom. However, the execution of Junior's adventures in pugilism fails to live up to the promise of its pedigree.
I wouldn't have promised something stupid like that. And I told you, stop calling me Junior.
God, you're an idiot.
You're such a jerk. Junior.
The best beat-em-ups have depth and technique beneath the seemingly simple exterior. Spikeout lacks any depth whatsoever. The tutorial is red flag number 1.
How to see the map. Start. Gate. Player. Boss.
Pro tip, don't die. You have one 6-hit combo you'll use over and over. The announcer never ceases to be impressed by this. Choose between a too short story mode and a timed run through all the stages. There's a jump button and a strong attack that can be charged for 3 different levels of attack effects. And that's it.
No fooling?
No fooling. That's the whole game. Trudge through environments that look like they just stepped out of a 5-year-old arcade game, beating up the same thugs dozens of times over, while a busybody baritone invokes the obvious.
Here comes the boss.
Uh-oh, look busy! Even with the subpar visuals and tiny stages, Spikeout loads more often than a BioWare game on muscle relaxants.
Here I go!
Yes, here you go staring at barrels while the next section loads very slowly. Other games stream entire cities off the disc. Spikeout instead pioneers the first-person load screen.
It's amazing how messed up this island is.
Wait till I get going! If you die, that's it. No continues. You go back to the beginning of the level.
Game over.
You can't skip the cutscenes until the interminable load times are finished, so you'll be repeatedly subjected to inane dialogue and vaguely homoerotic overtones ad nauseum.
You're not my enemy. I can tell.
I was thinking the same thing. You're strong.
Not as strong as you, man. I can see that.
Are they just gonna go for it right there on the pavement?
Actually, I'm here to find someone.
As am I. I seek a man.
Try where the sailors hang out. The one potential saving grace of Spikeout is multiplayer, or would be if Xbox Live wasn't deserted. Split screen is also an option, but if you were dumb enough to pay money for Spikeout, you probably don't have many friends to begin with.
You gonna throw down, or are we cool?
Apparently, we're cool.
Totally. If by cool, you mean a 1 out of 5.
Back when Sony first unveiled PS3 game footage, Gundam was almost too good to believe. Well, the moment of truth is finally here, and there's only one question left to ask. What the f*** am I looking at?
Looks like our lucky day.
You'd be due for some luck after ending up in this god-awful game. Despite rolling on Sony's cutting-edge next-gen dubs, Crossfire looks distinctly last-gen. Hell, the ground is reminiscent of Armored Core on the PS1. But looks aren't everything, right? Surely there are redeeming features here somewhere. As with many Gundam games, you choose either the Earth Federation or Zeon side and battle it out during the 1-year war through horrifically simplistic missions. The lock-on conveniently eliminates the need to aim, so you can just jog around firing at things you can't even see, and you're pretty much guaranteed to hit them.
Enemy approaching the supply depot.
There's an attempt to add some strategy with a damage system to let you blow off various body parts, but since the only way to target specific areas of an enemy is this useless zoom view, you're reduced to firing wildly and hoping you hit something important. In between missions, you slog through mind-numbing menus to manage your hangar of mechs and requisition new recruits. I've had more fun applying grout to floor tiles. Control of all the mechs is sluggish and clunky, and the uncooperative camera is no help at all. Luckily, the enemy isn't really bright enough to pose a significant threat much of the time. What are you doing? You're just standing in my base. Are you two even fighting each other? Everywhere you turn in this game, there's something horrible. I have to warn you, this part may make your eyes bleed. I'm not sure what I like better, the fact that the water behaves like a solid sheet of fabric, or the way it occasionally clips through the nearby ground.
Protect the media.
Media? The word is Medea. Mythological figure? Tragedy by Euripides? Anyone home?
What are you doing?
I'm kicking you to death pretending you're the game disc. It's amazing that Crossfire looks this bad and yet can't even manage to run smoothly. It's not like we expected a Gundam game to knock it out of the park or anything, but this wouldn't even be acceptable on the PS2, let alone as a launch title for the most advanced next-gen system in existence.
I've been hit! It's over!
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire gets a 1 out of 5 for being shovelware of the highest order. And if you buy it, you're part of the problem.
Unfortunately, we've lost. Critical.
Even by terrible movie tie-in video game standards, G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra is remarkably awful. The character models, for example, are horrendous. Channing Tatum looks like a burn victim. Ugh. And Scarlet looks like she got her code name from eating too many red velvet cupcakes. The gameplay consists of holding down your fire button and watching the bad guys melt.
Man, it's so weird the way they just dissolve when they go down.
Occasionally a meter will fill up and you can put on your accelerator suit. But instead of giving you remarkable new powers, they just let you move slightly faster as the Real American Hero theme song plays. Would you believe this is the best part of the game? We had a better time trying to figure out what nationality Breaker's cartoonish accent is supposed to be.
Those shields won't do squat against good old-fashioned fisticuffs.
A perfect example of this game's laziness is this sequence, where your CEO tells you to find a way through this giant gate.
You're going to need to find a way through that door, Jones.
What's the solution to this tricky puzzle? Why, it's the enormous yellow button, which is right next to the door.
Where did that come from?
The gameplay in G.I. Joe is easier than Sienna Miller. Occasionally you can hail satellite-guided missiles down upon your enemy, who scream like tortured animals. The gameplay is astoundingly linear. Apparently jungles have hallways. Who knew? And parts of G.I. Joe are simply unfinished. Look, you can literally just see through your character's head. I don't want to say this game is bad, but I'd rather watch Glenn Beck and Lou Dobbs make out in a Kenyan nursery than play through this again. G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra is a 1.
Compliments of G.I. Joe.
Out of 5.
Yo, Soup! Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Expectations are high. Remember that epic next-gen-tastic cutscene a while back? At first glance, you seem to be attaining new heights. Anybody else smell kryptonite?
Kryptonite!
Superman Returns for the 360 begins with a classic Superman tribulation, an intergalactic air hanky. Here you'll hone your basic super skills, most notably flight and the Man of Steel's force-focused optic abilities. Sadly, this game's got none. The promise of that early cutscene is broken, folks. We got ourselves an airborne Aquaman. The title suffers on many levels. Sure, flying around is fun. Maybe it would have been better as a flight sim. The camera is incredibly frustrating. It will really urinate you off in close combat and in moments where time is of the essence. The controls are sloppy as well, almost demanding button mashing. Kevin Spacey crosses over as Lex Luthor. He wanders into cutscenes, squinting nefariously as he plots the downfall of Earth's blue bodyguard.
There's no place for you anymore, Superman. Now fly!
A lot of the villains you'll combat do emerge from Soup's past. Overcast and this guy.
That's to mix your spit lick.
Is that Welsh?
I can fly faster than you can.
As Superman levels up, you'll fight a lot of the same minions. Streets littered with contraptional robots is really popular, for example. You'll realize that the more moral than the Man of Metal is hardly careful. The streets become choked with smoking debris and cowering citizens that you'll lamely have to reassure.
We're not gonna make it, Superman!
Initially, the city has some charm that quickly dissipates with its extreme lack of interactivity. And this? What's this? Would a little ground cover have killed you guys? Weapons discharge only had to come close to register a hit. And level satisfaction achieves another outfit that looks like every other outfit. The biggest joke of all is delivered by our less than ubermensch's final adversary. Yes, it's a tornado. A frackin' tornado, people. Get inside and start flailing. Oh, and be careful not to get killed by your own statue. Soup, you are truly a dog.
Perhaps we no longer even need Superman.
A 1 out of 5.
I am Beowulf!
Whoa there, little bear. Calm down. This is just a review for Beowulf the Game. Beowulf the Game is a hack-and-slash adventure starring this guy.
I am Beowulf! Beowulf! Beowulf!
Beowulf the Game focuses on the unseen 30 years of Beowulf's reign as king. It's a clever way to expand the world of Beowulf. At least it would be if Beowulf tried to be anything more than a useless accessory to the movie marketing campaign. It's an action game, which means Beowulf and his Thane cheerleaders land on the shores of Denmark, spoiling for a fight. What they get is an epic battle with crabs. I can relate. The gameplay is about as tired as you can get. Slashing moves, some combos, and Simon Says-style boss battles. And a lot of stomping on people's nuts.
Beowulf! Beowulf! Beowulf!
The game is linear, with no branching levels or open environments. So why is it so hard to find my way around the forest? The levels in Beowulf are insanely confusing. And what passes for variety is a rhythm game to pump up your buddies to lift heavy things for you. It's so much fun, I'm convinced they hooked up a bunch of chimpanzees to a Mountain Dew IV drip, bombarded them with footage of God of War, then let them bang on the dev kits for a while. That may seem harsh, but it's frustrating to see so many games with potential get turned into substandard shovelware whose sole purpose is to sucker fans of the movie into buying it so the studio can make a profit. There is nothing here but a waste of $60.
I am the Monster Slayer!
I am the teeth in the dark. I am the talons of the night. I am strength. I am lust. I am power. I am a 1 out of 5.
In an attempt to cash in on a fad that swept the nation over a decade ago, Tamagotchi Party On brings everyone's favorite virtual pet to life in a video board game. Good thing this game has subtitles. It's kind of like the game of life. You know, that really boring game where you have a peg for a person and you move around the board using no skill or strategy until, I forget, you get old and die? Well, there's no sweet release of death in Tamagotchi, and instead of achieving milestones and building a family, your Tamagotchi is running for elected office. The goal is to earn the most popularity points before Election Day. You do so by earning money and gaining popularity through random events and the occasional minigame. But really, the first player to reach the location of the campaign speech gets the most popularity points and wins the election. When you land on an event space, you might trip and lose $10, or you may help some kids across the street. There are also gotchi games, where you can win a few bucks by catching a blobchi. But even your Tamagotchi appears confused by this. The mini-games cover a wide range of standard campaign activities like waving to a crowd, playing rock, paper, scissors, and of course feeding squirrels from a trampoline. Yes, it makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, it's not all squirrel feeding excitement. All the minigames are single player and you spend most of your time rolling a virtual die. And by the way, we may be expecting too little of our candidates when we're challenging them to set a clock correctly. In terms of parties, this game is like sitting in someone's rec room with a bowl of bugles and the music turned low so that you don't bother the host grandmother in the next room. Tamagotchi Party On catches 1 blobchi out of 5.
Ever imagine what the world would be like without the smiling faces of overworked McDonald's cashiers? A world without Billy Joel and Elton John concerts. A world without the hopeful faces of the handicapped. A world without light. Is the sky falling? Or are we, for the next 3 minutes, going to incarcerate you within one of the worst game environments ever created by people with computer science degrees? Take that, math boy! Backyard Wrestling, there goes the neighborhood, plows into your living room and proceeds to lower the real estate value of the furniture by putting your ass to sleep in it. Let's get something straight. This is not to say that the wrestlers deserve any of the grief here. These guys are seriously doing things you can't do.
But I don't feel pain.
Oh, the insane clown posse are here. Them lending celebrity cred to this sport is kind of like Meatloaf being considered as the 4th of the 3 tenors. What's so bad about the game, you say? Look at it. This environment isn't muddy because it rained last night. Its uninspired, flat look is just plain lazy. Destructible environments almost seem as if pieces of the game itself are breaking off into incomprehensible bits of chaos. The physics in the game are more like the simple math of your mother telling you it's time for bed. Look, the office worker and the IT guy are having a difference of opinion.
I got a computer. Hey, want to see my resume?
Maybe
maybe he's an army recruiter. Come on, kid. The military's fun. You get to oversee free and democratic elections in foreign lands. Look, Andrew WK is making an acceptance speech at the Darwin Awards. Combo's special moves seem to be incredibly random, and the AI, though adjustable, seems incredibly stupid. Hell, I'm being chased by a crappy game. Adjusting the AI only seemed to increase the rubber band effect, where if you're winning, the game just snaps back and blocks everything you throw at it until it wins. Airlifting porn stars into the game does little to increase the doing factor in the game. Their incessant mewling repeats so frequently, you'll just start letting them win so you can leave them.
One down.
This brings to mind the horrendous audio in the title.
Get ready to lose.
The sounds are similar to those your ass will make after you eat the game. Oh look, it's Mel Gibson's favorite action hero, looking for grub at Magdalene's. Run. Don't walk from this title, folks. We give it a 1 out of 5.
So here's one. What does Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the Wolfman, assorted zombies, the Mummy, and toymaker Todd McFarlane have in common? Well, they've all turned up in Todd McFarlane's evil prophecy. And look, it's the dreaded Fishman, the worst part of men combined with the worst parts of fish. Scared yet? You should be. This game is spooky bad. There's no use in making you watch the entire review just to discover the obvious. McFarlane's evil prophecy is lame. But if you're interested in finding out just how lame, stick around. Evil Prophecy follows 4 monster hunters as they fight against iconic beasts like the Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Werewolf. Just like Van Helsing. And, yeah, and that's about it for the good parts. Oh, and there's a lot of reading to do. I'm sure your 7th grade English teacher would be proud. Rather than choose just one character to control, all 4 are along for the adventure. You can switch between them at any time with a directional pad. Yep, so Evil Prophecy is technically a so-called button masher, and it's monotonous to the extreme. The same creatures pop up out of the ground over and over again, and most of the levels are dark and foggy, so you often can't tell what's going on. But then again, you don't need to, since blindly hitting the various buttons works just fine. Eventually, the huge number of seemingly identical monsters the game throws at you becomes so annoying that you realize you can just run past them in order to get the next objective. Gee, you know what? How's that for solid game design? Seriously though, the pleasure of a good beat-em-up comes in the rhythm of the action, the diversity of the levels and enemies, and the feeling that you're actually accomplishing something. Needless to say, you shouldn't be able to run headlong into a pack of enemies without getting your ass handed to you. With or without fancy time-freezing special moves. So, rather than focus on improving the core gameplay, the designers of Evil Prophecy have thrown in a few half-hearted concepts that never gel. There's a useless character compatibility aspect for one, a random dungeon scenario, and a versus mode where there can be only one, and everyone else is just an ass. What more can be said? McFarlane's Evil Prophecy is easily one of the worst games to come along in a while. Steer clear, kiddos. We give it a you don't need it 1 out of 5.
Terrorists have seized the baggage claim. Let's go to the action right now.
Oh no, not the baggage claim. They can have anything they want, but don't let them take the baggage claim.
What's wrong?
Target Terror is here for the week. Released a few years ago in arcades, it's an Area 51 style shooter that pits you against the terrorists. Which terrorists? Al-Qaeda? Hezbollah? Saeed from Laws? Nah, it's these nondescript guys wearing sunglasses, whose main intent seems to be getting you to pump more quarters in the arcade machine they were originally on. In order to eliminate all your targets, you have a basic pistol equipped, but there are other weapons helpfully strewn throughout the different levels. So, what's bad here? To me, besides the cheesy graphics, dated concept, and unresponsive reaction times on terrorists you've already shot, how about the fact that they didn't even try to make the fake newscast sound different?
Let's go live right now, right now, right now, right now.
But my biggest beef here is with the attitude of the civilians you're saving. I mean, seriously, here's a young lady I just rescued from a tanker ship the terrorists commandeered. And how does she thank me? By deciding where her true loyalties lie, slapping on a cheap pair of sunglasses and trying to stab me in the neck. Not cool. This is the kind of game that raises all sorts of questions. Questions like, is America prepared for a terrorist invasion at the Golden Gate Bridge? Why are we storing our nuclear waste in baggage handling areas at the airport? Who's chucking dynamite-strapped curtains at my face? And when are you going to finally tell us the score, Sessler?
Right now.
Target terror hijacked 1 golf cart out of 5.
Mike?
Like zombies and Joan Rivers, bad movie-based games never die. They just keep crawling after you, taking infected bites out of your movie game hopes and dreams. That stench you smell is the fetid breath of Bad Boys Miami Takedown. All I can say is, wow.
Next time, Doug.
Bad Boys isn't exactly a powerhouse franchise, but still, there are things you'd expect from a Bad Boys video game. How about Will Smith? Nope. Martin Lawrence? No again. The song. They gotta have the song. Lots and lots of pointless violence? Unfortunately, this is the only thing it delivers. Mike and Marcus are back again to show you just how bad they are. These bad boys sling profanity-laced zingers at each other.
You can shut the up too.
This game might have a redeeming quality if it allowed you to shoot your partner.
There a reason why you pointing that thing at me?
But you probably wouldn't be able to hit him anyway. The characters don't look like the actors, and they don't try very hard to sound like them either.
Okay, boys, time to wake up and do the submachine gun cha-cha.
Bad Boys has a built-in morality system. You can earn bad boy points by executing criminals.
Marcus 1, stupid dead punk 0.
Exploding barrels and shooting cakes and fruits. And birds. You're such a bad boy. If you want to play with perfect cop style, you can shoot the guns out of the bad guy's hands. Why don't they run away or pick the gun back up? Now disappear like a good little criminal. There are 13 levels of Bad Boy Tripe where you hide behind anything you can find and shoot at idiots. But don't worry, it only takes about 3 hours to play through the entire game. Headshots for everyone! Bad Boys Miami Takedown is like a rip-off of the gunplay aspects in GTA 3, but without the carjacking or the open-ended missions or the fun. They stuffed this cliche cop action game into a bag and then beat it with the suck stick. I'm sure Martin Lawrence's career is rolling over in its grave. Bad Boys Miami Takedown gets a criminal 1 out of 5.
You trying to write your name with blood holes again? Because it looks like you spelled it. A-S-S.
Hello, kids! Today's gaming word of the day is scatological. Now, scatology is a biologically oriented study of excrement. Now, you might find yourself saying, well, Adam, that's all well and good, but I have no interest in studying the fragrant fruit of the booty. I simply want to know if this game is good or bad. Well, if scatology is the study of waste, this game is one of the larger human wastes of time we've ever seen. Allow us to put on our lab coats so we can further examine this rhino turd for your enlightenment. The video game ghetto sure is getting bleak, what with the 50-cent game being so bad and all. It's art imitating life. 25 to Life is another cracker-coated crap fest with a street-credulous soundtrack that may distract you for a moment as you stare in disbelief at what in Frodo's furry nuts you're doing playing this game.
Somebody set me up!
Raise the curtain on level 1 and find yourself home sweet hood arguing with this tragic case of cosmetic surgery gone bad, who is apparently the mother of your child. You're Freeze, one of 3 characters you'll play in the game. And speaking of games, Freeze wants out. So, you know the drill. One more big score before closing down the criminal store. And it's just not that simple and boom! Hail of gunfire of wildly disparate caliber, wave after wave of adversaries, cutscenes of betrayal and redemption, clandestinely trained legions of clairvoyant ocelots overthrow the American banking system, and you get the picture. The mechanics under the hood of this jalopy are really one of the main culprits in the failure of the title. Character AI, for example. These adversaries dropped out of special ed, not high school. They shoot each other. They Molotov themselves. And most of the time, they won't even notice you unless they've already started shooting. You'll notice quickly enough that staying in the wide open will end your thug's life pretty quickly, as your adversaries are ridiculously accurate. Can you tell me what's going on here? What? Strange objective cutscenes will all of a sudden pop up, but visually give you very little to go on. What? What about that guy? You'll play as 3 different characters. Good, bad, but wants to be good.
By any means necessary.
And just plain bad. There's really very little appreciable difference, however, once the action starts. Gunfights are just plain hysterical train wrecks of bad camera angles, ridiculously indestructible adversaries, and lousy collision detection. Taking a hostage to use as cover was pointless, as sheets of opposing gunfire quickly reduce your mortal cover to a fine crimson mist. Miles below the hustle and flow, this game just plain sucks.
That's a lot of blow.
We give it a 1.
I know I made a deal with the devil by being in the game.
Out of 5. Okay, kids, we're trying something new for this review of Crime Life Gang Wars. I'm hooking myself up to the X-Play polygraph machine so you can get an idea of just how honest I'm being when I tell you what a great game this is. Now, for a baseline reading, I have to lie first. Let's see. I am a 10-foot tall woman. And now for a bit of truth. I am a sex machine. I can only have sex with the aid of a machine. So, in Crime Life, you take the role of wannabe thug Trey. Like most disillusioned youths with no options, he dreams of following in 50's footsteps to become the ultimate gangster.
Outlaw material is like the finest silk, top quality.
Trey enlists with the Outlaws, the baddest gang in Grand Central City. And as you might imagine, in his new crime life, there's a gang war going on with the Headhunters. Both of these gangs spell their names with a Z instead of an S, so you know they're very, very cool. And they're all members of Mensa. And Grand Central City is the most imaginative name for a city I've ever heard. Much of Crime Life plays out like a classic beat-em-up. You and other gang members run around looking for trouble, and when you find it, Trey doles out damage with his fists and his feet, or various other weapons. The combat system is great. Lame. F***ing weak. The combo controls are clunky, and the AI of both your friends and enemies is pathetic. And that's not the only thing wrong here. The storyline is predictable.
I got it from your mama.
Oh. And the mission objectives, bland.
When you finish, maybe you can remove these 2 suckers for me.
And can we talk about the graphics for a minute? They're bad. Wow, that took significantly less than a minute. At least the game has a disclaimer that lets you know that all resemblance to any person's living or dead is purely coincidence, which is good, because I would hate to think anyone's life is this poorly rendered.
No! Not my car!
The bottom line here is Crime Life is completely not a shoddy attempt to cash in on the popularity of Grand Theft Auto. It's a beautiful, well-rounded game that you'll want to rush out and pick up. We give Crime Life Gang Wars a 5 out of a 4 out of 3, 2, 1 out of 5.
You can have your hood back. It's too ghetto for me anyway.
In a sea of empty, violent video games, Rengoku, the Tower Purgatory is a violently philosophical port that poses the question, could a legacy of slaughter and destruction lead to anything but eventual ruin? Who the hell knows, but it could definitely lead to one of the most crapadelic games to ever hit the PSP. Now, all 3 of you loyal viewers know that I've never been the biggest fan of RPGs.
Well, Rengoku is not only an RPG, it also sucks more tenaciously than I could ever convey. But believe you me, I'm about to try. Besides stealing from the opening scene of Fight Club, Rengoku is the story of an android named Adam. By the way, thanks Konami for completely taking a dump all over my given name. But I digress. Now, Adam has grown a soul and desperately wants to escape from the Tower of Suck. So, what the heck does he do about it, you ask? Well, he breaks a bunch of boxes, of course. Apparently, destroying crates is the way to salvation. I hope you sinners are taking notes. The rest of the game is spent getting lost in the randomly generated levels that look randomly identical. But once you stumble upon another android, you get to fight until you knock his parts loose. Konami's notion of leveling up is to then allow you to trick out your android by affixing those different scraps to your character's chassis. This feature would be cool if it actually made a difference. Using different weapon combinations can allow for slightly varying strategies, but all the combat is pretty much the same. Double tap, button mash, roll strike, double tap, button mash, roll strike. You know, it's kind of like getting kicked in the nuts a whole bunch of times, only not as much fun. But if you happen to mess around and die, you lose all of the goodies that you worked so hard for. So you'll either find yourself restarting from your last save point or running like a little bitch. And if you ever forget the clumsy D-pad controls, you can always run through the tutorial, a device about as helpful as it is well translated. Yep, sometimes I need to perform and quick escape too. By the way, all your base are belong to us. Since the best graphics are wasted in the cutscenes, the actual game is left with muddy textures that aren't so pretty. Frankly, I've seen better looking taints. The sound is okay, but I found that it actually works best when you turn off the PSP. Yeah, that right there sounds great. Well, I'm just saying that everyone who had anything to do with it should be bent over and with a until the handle falls off. And that goes double for you, Hajime Kasuya. All in all, this port is almost as much fun as getting a root canal through your ass. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. In the end, we give Rengoku Tower of Purgatory a big, fat 1 out of 5.
Boy, it sure is quiet around here. Boring, too. This is what it feels like to play Purge. Purge is a shooter that's designed to be played online, as in with other people. So why can't I find anyone to play with? Oh, so that's why. There's no one playing. Oh wait, here's a server with a whopping 2 people on it. Peachy. I've got a question for you, folks. What good is an online game if there's no one online to play it with? While you ponder that one, let me tell you a little bit more about Purge. It's a team-based shooter that pits futuristic soldiers against their fantasy-based equivalents. Basically, you have to protect your home base while trying to destroy the other team's home base. The main hook in Purge is the addition of a few RPG-style elements. Character classes have skills and stats that change and grow as you play the game. The problem is, the stats have a transparent effect on the gameplay. You can't really tell if your high dexterity or strength or whatever has a beneficial effect. Not that it matters because there's no one playing the game. The skills, on the other hand, are very useful. For example, some characters can create helpful items like health packs. But the classes aren't balanced. The assassin's invisibility makes everyone else a sitting duck. The fighter appears pretty much useless, but he does have a sword that shoots little curvy bits of light. Team tactics are pointless anyway because there's no one playing the game. In your solitude, however, there are ways of passing the time. You can always snuggle up to a wall and see if you can shoot yourself. Or you can just stare wistfully into the clouds. Now isn't that nice? Purge feels like a player-created mod based on a shooter that wasn't very good to begin with. Even if there was something halfway decent about this game, we simply cannot recommend it because there's nobody playing. XPlay gives Purge a 1 out of 5. Hello? Anybody there?
Oh, what is this? Oh, yeah, I remember.
It's one of those anime shows that has a cult following of 50 or so introverted shut-ins with pizza roll breath and cactus cooler stains on their Morrissey Hot Topic t-shirts. And when there's a geeky cult, it sadly leads to a quickie game.
I understand your concern.
Which is where D.I.C.E comes in. Oh, sweet child of mine, D.I.C.E is so bad, it's leaving a nasty stench on my PS2.
Oh!
There are robot dinosaurs here, which can transform into vehicles to race through the game with. Wow, it's like Christmas all year round. If you're Jewish.
Oh! Unbelievable!
Along with your trusty dinosaur/car/who gives a you get a trusty little robot pal to help beat off those completely meaningless villains.
That's useless.
It almost makes you forget how pointless this game is. Missions are simple. Go do this or that, and fight enemies on levels that blend into each other after time. Simple fighting games shouldn't be this boring, should they?
That's a very interesting question.
Which leads to the big battle, where you can fight a giant doesn't matter who likes to clap his hands and spew bird flu all over.
Oh!
Along the way, there are simple, slow-paced races to get through. Wow! And modes where robot dinosaurs can fight each other. Awesome! It's as pointless as a metaphor I'm too bored to come up with.
How rude of you!
Is it as bad as we're telling you it is? Yes. Yes, it is. But where else can you fight giant frogs? Or a headless robot with big feet? Or killer Zambonis? Or giant frogs? It can only happen in D.I.C.E.
Hickory dickory dock! This game sucks! Oh!
Thanks, D.I.C.E. Now go back to 1989 where you belong.
Oh!
The only people this game will appeal to are desperate, sad little D.I.C.E. fans. And even then, it's a stretch.
Excuse my lack of enthusiasm.
You like D.I.C.E? Good for you! Enjoy with my blessing. But it does not mean that you'll like this game.
It's truly unfortunate that it's come down to this.
Yes, it is. We give D.I.C.E a lowly 1 out of 5.
Mother Goose, remember her? I f***ed her. Oh!
Yes, you are looking at another game set in World War II. But before you pry your eyes out with the blunt end of a Thompson M1, let's find out whether World War II Tank Commander is worth your money. Okay, it's not.
Open fire!
Calling this game Tank Commander is a little bit of a... well, it's a lie.
We're under attack! Ambush!
You spend most of your time following your comrades around and helping out when you can.
Thanks for the help.
Yes, you are technically a member of General Patton's Elite 4th Armored Division, but since this game has no cutscenes, you won't be seeing him give any pep talks. The voice actors in Tank Commander give new meaning to the phrase, low energy.
Damn it. I think there's another bridge further down.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter, since half the time you can't actually make out what they're saying.
Let's clear this area on the way to them to secure the back end.
Thank God for captions. The artificial intelligence in this game is also terrible. Most of your opponents will actually just sit still as you shoot them. The game looks passable, but because the visible distance and the overall level of detail are so low, it can be hard to tell your enemies from your allies.
Come long enough, I'll lead the way.
And if you're a fan of the late 90s trend of adding lens flare for the sake of realism, prepare for a slice of digital heaven. This game features more lens flare than a season of Nova. There isn't a whole lot of realism here. German tanks almost always take 3 hits to kill. Meanwhile, you can survive a ton of attacks thanks to your refillable health bar. Since you're controlling a tank, you'd expect to be able to plow over any obstacle. But in the world of Tank Commander, the slightest twig is a mighty barrier. You can't even roll over this 2.5-foot wooden fence. The game doesn't feature multiplayer mode, but that's probably just as well, considering how poorly assembled this game is.
Hey, Rommel 3000, do you read me? What's your 20?
I don't know, Patton Fan 47. Just keep heading south. We're bound to run into each other.
I can't. There's a 2-foot-high wooden fence in the way.
Oh, God.
What's wrong? Are you okay?
I'm blinded by lens flare. It's everywhere.
We tried hard to find a reason to like this game, and all we could come up with was the price tag. Since it's a budget title, you'll only be wasting about $20 instead of the full $50. But please, for the love of Patton, don't do it. World War II Tank Commander gets a 1 out of 5.
Patton Fan 47, is that you? Oh god, a German tank! Must drive faster! No! No, okay, I'm alright.
At some point in the last few years, someone, no one's quite sure who, decided that Japanese-style drift racing was cool. To that person I say this: thanks a lot! Because of you, we have to deal with Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift 2, a game that's as convoluted as its title. Drift 2 takes us back inside the lame, poorly rendered world of Kaido, where street racers spend their days tweaking their rides and creepily trolling nearly empty parking lots at night looking for competition. Competition like this delivery truck, the driver of which, I assume, was loitering in the dark looking for something other than a race. Sorry, Hariki, I guess you'll have to find somewhere else to dump the body. Although the game is technically a sequel, it's more likely that the 2 is there to indicate that everything crappy about its predecessor is still here, but doubled. Case in point, the graphics. It's hard to capture the true spirit of drift racing when employing what looks like 2D backgrounds from the first Ridge Racer. The game offers several racing scenarios, like day driving, night driving, uphill driving, and what amounts to a romp through a driver's ed course called Gymkhana. Not to be confused with gymnastics meets martial arts masterpiece Gymkata, which actually has a more cohesive, well-crafted plot than this turd of a game. One would think that drifting is an important part of Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift 2, and technically, it is important. That is, if you can somehow execute a drift. The clumsy game mechanics make pulling off a successful drift about as likely as there not being another sequel to The Fast and the Furious. Incidentally, if there is another one, and there will be, my guess is that it will involve people settling their beefs, or beefs, as it were, by racing and saying things like, "That's Tino, he's got the sickest drift out here, bro." Meanwhile, you'll be crashing into rails and rocks and trees. None of which count as an actual drift. The fact that there are a number of cars to choose from is a little consolation for the hours and hours you'll spend shuffling through confusing game menus and awkwardly crashing your way through courses. Actually, make that minutes, 5 to be precise, before you drift this game into the trash and punch whoever recommended it to you. If you bought it because you loved the first one, punch yourself, then go watch Gymkhana. Action! Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift 2 gets a 1 out of 5.
Is this? Mind Jack? Seriously? Mind Jack? Mind Jack is a special game. Truly special. Not every game can combine repetitive gameplay, a bad story, and ineffective AI like Mind Jack can. Mind Jack is working on levels few of us can even achieve, nor would we want to. The main character is a secret agent of sorts named Jim. He has to protect some young lady named Becky. She's got secrets.
Let's dance.
Now, on first glance, Mind Jack is not just a pointless shoot-'em-up, it's so much less.
Your file's got a 5-star pain-in-the-ass rating.
See, Jack has a power, a gift, but not a curse. We're cursed with Mind Jack, not Jim. Jim has the power to jack people's minds. Just, take over their bodies for a while. Have you ever jacked in? Have you ever wire-tripped? Well, Jim has. And not just bodies, but robots, computers, and whatever this is. Oh, it's a cyborg ape. That seems to be the way Mind Jack rolls.
And now we just wait for the magic to happen.
Which brings us to the AI. They seem as bored as I am with this game. I haven't seen AI like this since the original PlayStation. Actually, this whole game is dated. The last time I saw game visuals like this, I was setting up my Friendster account, listening to Outkast while waiting for that new Lord of the Rings movie to open. Another negative? You can't pause this game, but you can turn it off. Why get Mind Jack now when you can pick it up in a Reseda car wash discount bin in just a few short months? Just wait. That is, if you don't mind, Jack.
We need to get out of here.
Mine Zach gets a lowly 1 out of 5. It's time to play Name That Genre! From the box art, Mobile Light Force 2 looks like a Charlie's Angels knockoff. Nope. Well then, looking at the character screens, it must be one of those anime RPGs with 45-minute cutscenes. Again, no. In reality, Mobile Light Force 2 is a port of a Japanese arcade shooter. Notes the vertical letterboxing. Really makes you feel like you're at the arcade. And really wastes a lot of screen space. How can we put that space to good use? I know! Dance parties! As you can see, Mobile Light Force 2 is one of those insanely difficult games where you have to blast dozens of enemies while skillfully dodging hundreds of tiny projectiles. Or not. There's quite a bit of not dodging going on in this game. Grrr. The enemies are decidedly, well, Japanese. Rampaging teddy bears, spinning dollies, and giant pulsating brains are only some of the weirdo foes you'll face. And what is this ugly thing? Nothing scarier than a giant butterfly with a baby face. Okay, enough dancing. I need to focus on the game. Did I mention that it's psychotically hard? How the heck am I supposed to dodge all that crap? Ah! Okay, I need a break. Let's look at those characters again. Each character comes with their very own incomprehensible biography. This guy is a retired cop who controlled a beautiful human-eating demon.
Hang it up! Fuck up!
And over here we have a very special detective from the Wolf God bloodline. Then there's this poor girl who doesn't even get a name. Each character has their own style of combat, including some pretty devastating special attacks. Waiting for a chick with no name, she really kicks butt. Die, pulsating brain, back to the little springy things from whence you came. And for an extra dose of incomprehensibility, there's the dialogue.
Your dog will suffer.
Did cute guy just say, your dog will suffer?
Your dog will suffer.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. Ah, forget it, I'm dying too much anyway. More dancing! Unless you're a masochist with the reflexes of a god, Mobile Light Force 2 is going to bring you nothing but frustration. Ah! Nothing more demeaning than getting your butt kicked by some teddygrams. And if you do have godlike reflexes, then you'll finish the game in about half an hour. 5 short levels, and that's all she wrote. To its credit, the game only costs $10. But that's at least, well, it's about $10 too much in my book. We give Mobile Light Force 2 an Angels ripoff anime wannabe headache-inducing 1 out of 5.
Let's get right to it. I don't know what Eureka's 1 through 6 are, but I promise you that anime mech game Eureka 7 Volume 2, The New Vision, is the worst Eureka of all time. The title's randomness conjures images of surly writers shooting darts at a dictionary. A creative process I bet went into every aspect of Eureka 7. For example, witness this wonder of natural, lifelike storytelling.
You were at the finals? Who are you? Don't you remember? It's me, man!
Quit your damn complaining, kid!
Wait a sec.
Come to think of it, we have someone kinda like that around here.
Hey guy, can I borrow a pen?
Don't you remember? It's me, Emily!
What?
Quit your damn complaining, kid.
Never mind.
Suffice it to say, New Vision is actually the second game in a storyline that predates the events in the anime series. So if you didn't play the first volume, you'll mostly be clueless as to what is going on in this one. I think it has something to do with a jaded hero on a quest to save the world.
That little punk.
Unfortunately, Unfortunately, cutscenes are about as pleasant to watch as warmed-over dog poo, replete with mind-blowingly awkward silences, and voice actors who sound like they're praying for the sweet release of death. You can almost touch their shame. Unless apparently they're explaining the wonders of ramen.
Rich broth with lots of back fat on top. Ugh.
The spare moments of clumsy gameplay that are unceremoniously shoved between cutscene marathons come in 3 flavors, all about as appetizing as a squid-flavored gummy bear. There's racing, mech battles, and some truly terrible hand-to-hand combat. While sky-high mech battles on surfboards from the future may sound fun on paper, in execution, they're a confusing mess. You spend half the time wondering which way your character is even facing, and the other half cursing the lameness of your space boomerang. I mean, I'm a giant glorified robot. Shouldn't I be able to manifest ponies and shoot fire and explode and stuff? What else is there to say about a game whose most exciting moment is the loading screen? Bottom line, I'm guessing that Eureka 7 fans and novices alike will hate New Vision.
What is it you're trying to say?
This game brings new meaning to the phrase, add insult to injury. Let's not make it to Eureka number 8, please. Eureka 7 Volume 2 gets a 1 out of 5.
Throughout the ages, European and Asian folklore have told many tales about the dragon, a mythical serpent so ferocious, so amazing, it's feared and revered by almost every culture on the planet. So what happens when this legendary creature decides to try its claws at the bourbon-soaked sport of horseback racing? A game so bad, it's a legend itself.
Release the dragon!
Based on an unpopular Saturday morning cartoon series about dragon back racing, Dragon Booster for the Nintendo DS may sound like it's about a dragon vaccination. But it still features sick rides, yo! That's because you can pimp out your dragon with bumpers, spoilers, and rims. But I think fixing up dragons belongs to one of our other shows?
Next on Dragon Fury, Spyro gets some spinners, yo, followed by 10 repeats of Why Play.
Having show promos cover up this review is more aesthetically pleasing than looking at the game. Ooh, Next Generation is on. Set phasers to entertain. The graphics in this game are an eyesore. For a while, I thought we were riding llamas. I know dragons are supposed to be hideous and all, but these creatures don't resemble anything close to a dragon. They don't fly, breathe fire, or have Chinese people for feet. The teen jockeys that ride these beasts are even more pathetic, flinging their bodies at everything they encounter, like Spring Break with large reptiles replacing Havasu. Fling your body to tackle your opponents. Fling your body to grab items. Fling your body to take out obstacles. As bizarre and complex as that sounds, the controls for this game are even more convoluted. The D-pad is used to steer your pathetic prehistoric llama. The buttons are used to fire your faulty weapons, and the stylus is used to aimlessly jump and do your nonsensical flinging moves. Using the control pad and buttons at the same time is normal. But how are you supposed to use the stylus without a free hand? Seriously, who has 3 hands? Do you have to be a mythical creature to play this game? What makes it even worse is that you can't stop. The stupid dragon just moves forward, forcing you to run into obstacles and fall into gaps. It's sad when the game's AI can't even get through the course. It's frustrating. Reading our message boards is more mentally captivating than this game. With lousy graphics, terrible gameplay, and a horrible concept, Dragon Booster for the Nintendo DS gets a 1 out of 5. It's probably less deserving.
Does anything sound less appealing than controlling a supporting character in a mediocre video game based on a Hayden Christensen action-adventure movie?
My name's Griffin.
Nope, didn't think so. In Jumper Griffin's story, you play as Griffin, a.k.a. Jamie Bell, a.k.a. Billy Elliot. You see, according to the rules of this universe, jumpers are people who can teleport anywhere in the world at any time.
Paladins kill jumpers, I kill paladins. Class dismissed.
Developers of the game decided to stay faithful to the movie in the sense that both are indescribably terrible.
Jerk squad at 12 o'clock.
Instead of doing anything creative with combat, the makers simply have you use the controller's 4 face buttons to determine which side to attack from. Occasionally you can trigger instant kills, which allow you to warp your opponents into unfortunate situations, like abandoning them in Antarctica, or leaving them in a car that's about to be crushed. Why you can't just do that to every bad guy, well, that's never explained. Instead, you'll dispatch the majority of them by hitting them with Jamie Bell's patented whacking stick. On the plus side, boy, what plus side could there possibly be here? Come on, Adam, think. Oh, I know, Jamie Bell's accent is totally dreamy.
But we don't always get to choose our fights. Some fights, you're just born into.
I could listen to him deliver meaningless platitudes all night long.
My father once said that to remain a free soul means always being in a state of revolt.
Yeah. And believe it or not, this retails for a full $60. If they wanted to insult us, they should have just cut to the chase and slapped us in the face with a penis.
I'm gonna hurt you, Griffin.
At least then I'd have a funny story to tell at next year's E3, and I get to touch a penis.
Not bad.
No, guy. Actually, it is pretty bad. Jumper Griffin's story gets 1 Samuel L. Jackson cameo.
Good of you to come.
Out of 5.
This is the life. Jacuzzi, gorgeous babes, nice food, orgies.
Oh god, I don't even know where to start. Has anyone heard of Torrente? I guess he's some kind of cult comedy genius in Spain, but I fail to see the humor. There are apparently 3 Torrente movies, and maybe if I had seen one of these, the game would make at least some sense. The game offers this as a backstory.
My story begins a ways back in Madrid, Spain, where I was a high-profile police officer. I decided it was up to me to bring justice back to the streets.
It's all so clear now. I didn't know what I was thinking. If Torrente was kicked off the force, then I guess he was the only cop on it to begin with, because the streets of Madrid apparently are full of violent clones with automatic weapons, with not one cop in sight. Okay, so the story doesn't translate or make any sense.
See? I shot a man and then blew up a car.
But how is the gameplay, you ask? Well, do you like rectal surgery? Then you'll love this game. If you can make it through 30 seconds of mission 1, then you either have a tumor or you're a masochist. Or both. The goal is to disarm 5 bombs planted around Madrid. Glorious Madrid. The city is huge, which in most games would be a good thing. But here's a typical map of your assignment. Wow, I can draw maps too. The in-game radar is the black circle at the top of the screen that never shows anything. Even if it did, Torrente can't use a car, so he has to waddle from one end of the city to the other. And good God, is he slow.
How slow is he?
He's slower than evolution. Hi-oh! He's slower than Tara Reid's reaction time. Hi-oh! He's slower than a John Kerry speech. Hi-oh! In another mission, Torrente has to shoot manhole covers so someone named Coco won't fall into them. Don't ask me who Coco is, because I have no idea. He's just some guy with a blindfold on. If this is the best Spain has to offer, it's no wonder they're turning into zombies. Perhaps I'm too hard. There are some nice things. Leonard Nimoy's in it, and you kill him. And you can choose between first and third person, but I guess that's like saying being paralyzed isn't that bad because I can still move my eyes. Torrente gets a 1 out of 5. And I hope it burns in hell.
If there's one thing this world needs, it's a forgettable sequel to an unremarkable spin-off of a franchise that hit the wall half a decade ago. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 is exactly that game. This series has not aged well, and there are a wide variety of crucial design flaws that somehow still remain unaddressed. But you know the old saying, if it is broke, don't fix it. The battlefields in Gundam 2 are extremely large, but the basic goal remains the same. Destroy enough bad guys in a certain area and your allies can come control that zone for you. Then you can move on to the next swarm of largely mindless enemies. If that sounds repetitive to you, check this out. It is repetitive. It's extremely repetitive. To be fair, the game offers up some combos and you have the ability to thrust and block. But let's just be honest here. The combat is extremely limited in its variety. You'll be spending most of your time hitting the same 2 buttons over and over again, while wishing you'd spent your money on literally anything that isn't this.
Move on! You'll have to do better than that.
The textures and overall graphical look would suggest PS2 game, but this is running on the PlayStation 3, and despite the lo-fi visuals, it still can't manage a draw distance of over 20 feet, which means that bad guys constantly pop up out of nowhere. Artificial intelligence is largely absent from the proceedings. Both your allies and enemies seem equally apathetic. Oftentimes they just stand there and stare at you. It's like being the only person at the office who actually has work to do. Fans of the anime will be happy to know that the music, character designs, and voice acting have been directly grabbed from the TV show.
Did you just step on me?
Unfortunately, those fans will have to suffer through the game in order to experience them.
Damn, that's it for me.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 gets a 1 out of 5.
Wow, did I ever pick the wrong week to guest host X-Play? Why couldn't I have shown up when Halo 3 comes out? Instead, I get this. This is gonna be a long review. Super Monkey Ball Adventure for the GameCube and PS2 takes the simple, satisfying control mechanics of the early puzzle games and awkwardly crams them into a platforming title. That's right, it has a storyline. In this case, your goal is to find out the cause of a mysterious sadness that's sweeping through the Monkey Kingdom. Maybe they can tell that they're starring in a doomed project. Anyway, you help out by running mindless errands for your primate pals. And by mindless errands, we really do mean mindless. This guy wants me to wake up a security guard. This one wants me to rescue his friend. This one wants me to take a picture. You get the idea. Listen, you know that we here at X-Play love monkeys. I mean, we had a whole episode devoted to them. Oh, good times. But we just can't give this game a pass.
Ball out!
Usually the series is made internally by Sega, but since they're all busy working on a version for the Nintendo Wii, this one got handed off to developer Traveler's Tales, who apparently traveled here from crappy Game Land. Almost everything in Super Monkey Ball Adventure feels like it was stolen from other generic platform games. The only fresh element is a system where you chant in order to pull off special moves. For example, saying "Yay Poo Poo" lets you stick to surfaces, while chanting "Woo Woo Poo" makes you invisible so you can sneak past guards. No, the chants don't have anything to do with monkey poo, or human poo, or any kind of poo for that matter. However, you'll be stymied at every turn by a camera with an attitude problem. Sometimes it actually feels like it's working against you. Since you're tilting the entire landscape in order to get around, you probably won't make it through the first level without getting motion sickness. I'm so sorry you had to see that. It would be one thing if the environments were built around the control mechanics, but it's like the level designers just stole some leftover sets from Crash Twinsanity and called it a day. I sense a montage coming on.
Ball out! Ball out! Ball out!
And it doesn't help that these monkeys' voices are more annoying than an entire episode of Tourgasm. Does anybody have an ice pick that I can puncture my eardrums with? There's a handful of new party games, but that's just about the only good news.
Goal!
If it didn't feature the series' beloved multiplayer mode, our score would actually have been -2. But as it is, Super Monkey Ball Adventure gets a low-hanging 1.
Ball out!
Out of 5.
Hey guys!
Hey.
Yo. Alright, you guys are gonna love this.
So, what have you got?
I've got American Idol, the game.
Great, well, let's see it.
Alright, here we go. So it's just like American Idol, the show. I mean, you could go through all the auditions and the heats, and you just follow along and press the buttons.
Oh, but when do we sing? And do you use a microphone?
No, you don't sing. See, this is American Idol. You just press the buttons, or you use a dance pad.
Boy.
No, wait. There's actually more. This game is really good. Trust me.
Sure it is. Let's see. You follow the icons that move toward the center of the screen. Occasionally, you'll have to perform some quick dual button presses. And that's it. You're judged on your reflex. Yeah, let's go over this again. This is American Idol, the game, based on a singing competition. And you don't sing.
This is just despicable.
Randy, Paula, and Simon are here, but most of their comments are considerably toned down.
I'm sorry. There's bad, and then there's you.
You just weren't up to par today.
I don't think you've convinced any of us. I really don't think you'll be back again in the next round.
I've actually got friends who snore better than you sing. Dreadful.
Okay, that's a good one. And pardon me, I don't mean to be rude, but visually, this game is a disaster. What's with the weird face scratching? The cel-shaded characters look like they were intended for the original PlayStation or Nintendo 64. Honestly, this game is all about playing dress-up. Here's my character, and just like the TV show, I'll be judged partially on appearance and image. In fact, you could spend a lot of time in wardrobe finding the right look.
Congratulations, you just unlocked a bonus costume.
Oh god, that one is so tacky. There is a karaoke mode, but look, you sing to the screen and you're not judged. People, do yourself a favor and sing to your own tunes on your own time. The only time we had fun with this game is when we put the controller down and let the contestants croon off key.
You'll be finding you can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love.
You guys, did I mention the two-player option and the videos you can get of Ruben and Clay?
Okay, that's enough.
You know, I really don't know how to say this, and your presentation was great and all, but I really can't give this game a good rating.
Yo, dog, dude, come on, this is American Idol the game. You mean to tell me there's no singing?
This is absolutely the worst game I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. I can't believe I'm giving it a 1.
1 out of 5.
Yo, dude, 1 out of 5.
You guys are wrong. This is a great game. You'll see.
Get out! Out!
Next.
My dog had that kind of talent. I'd shave its ass and shoot it.